funny that you say dig it, Daddy, because my dad is actually watching the show tonight.
Oh, really?
So, shout out
That's
to
great.
my dad.
Shout
He's
out to
watching right
Travis's dad. That's awesome.
Yeah, my dad. Shout out.
The only thing I don't have is a new updated warning graphic. I tried to find the fucking file before the show and I couldn't, so did not get a chance to update that. But you can go live anytime. Oh wait, shit, we are live. Fuck, we are live, pal.
Well,
it's the pre-show. You gave me no warning. I could have been saying all kinds of profanities and all kinds of stuff on here.
oh my God, I would never allow that.
No, I could have slipped. So what's going on, man? How's things going at the DuFour household?
Oh, things are great, man. Yeah, we'll talk Thanksgiving on the show today, but we'll figure out how that went. Not favorable.
Yeah, that is what it is. That's what holidays are like that. But man, this CM Punk just can't seem to. He's not an active member on the roster, but he can't seem to stay out of the news. Like the headlines every day I see CM Punk, it's always about him. Is this dude gone from the company? What's your stance on this?
Well, CM Punk, this is definitely all a work. He'll be back in 7-8 months. He's going to feud with Kenny Omega and the Bucks.
Oh, you believe it's a work? Oh, that's great.
Oh, 1000%. I see a work whenever it's coming. I smell a work. This is a work.
I want to believe it is. Yeah.
Well, on my news feed today, I saw that Ace Steel he's out there, man. There is a seminar you can sign up for pro wrestling. He's doing one in a couple weeks out in North Carolina somewhere, which is crazy. Ace Steel. He's still out there.
He's still doing stuff, huh?
See, back in the day in wrestling training, they would show you legitimately how to do the maneuver. And what I'm wondering is Ace Steel going to be biting people legitimately at this seminar? Just because that's what he's known for.
Yeah. Well, that's very possible. I haven't seen that guy in a long time. Not since the Burnout Media days, for sure.
Ace Steel?
Ace Steel. Oh, that was Ace Bennington.
I was like,
when you were saying Ace Steel, my mind immediately. That's how much of a no-name Ace Steel is, by the way. I know who you're talking about now. But yeah, I thought you were talking about fucking Ace Bennington, that your alter ego from back in the day. That's where that. Ace Bennington is more well known in my mind than Ace Steel. That's just FYI, I guess. I'm on the same page now.
Well, good. It's good that you're on the same page because we are starting the show. If you'd like, the intro is more than welcome to be rolled. Welcome in, one and all, Season 2, Episode 9, the Travis DuFour Show. I am Travis DuFour. That's my name. And without any further ado, my co-host, Mike Yatsko.
Dig it, Daddy.
And we are all about having some fun on the Travis DuFour Show. We have a brand new show for you. I hope that you like it.
New format, right?
Brand new format. That's what I meant to say. Brand new format. We are trying something a little different here. Bringing the word show in the Travis DuFour Show to life. And without any further ado, we've been advertising on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on all of our social media handles at the DuFour brand. We've been advertising that, Mike, there is a third person that's going to be on this show every week.
Yeah, we talked about the possibility of adding a co-host, and this show is ever evolving. So over time, things will change, and we felt like now was the right time for that change. Right. So
I love change.
Who do we have? There's plenty of options out there. There's lots of people that could be our co-host. So who do we have? I actually, I have one guy. I know one guy that could potentially be the co-host if you're interested. He's actually a blast from our past, from the Burnout Media days when we used to do that internet radio stuff 10 plus years ago.
Dude.
Yeah,
let's see him.
He reached out to me when he heard about this and he says, dude, I am totally down. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce the new co-host of the Travis DuFour Show, Chuck Weasley.
Oh my God! What a blast from the past, Chuck. How you been?
Hey guys, what's going on, man? It's a pleasure to be here.
God, you've got a full knuckle in your nose in this picture. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
I got quite the boogie oogie oogie I'm picking out right now.
Now, I do have to ask you, Chuck, where's your webcam? Because if you're going to be doing this, we need you on the webcam.
I was told that this was internet radio just like back in the day, so I just posted my best profile photo, and I hope that's okay.
Yeah, a decade and a half ago, we just did radio, but now we're in video. So, Chuck, go ahead and turn on your webcam, please.
Well, I don't do that. Plus, I'm completely butt-ass naked, and I don't think that would be appropriate for the audience.
Yeah, we would get kicked off of YouTube and Twitch. Thank you, Chuck, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a fat no.
Yeah, Chuck, I wanted to give you a chance. I don't think it's working out, bud. Sorry. Man, I thought that guy had some potential. He seemed like he had gone through some positive changes, and I don't know. I guess not.
You've been keeping tabs on old Chuck Weasley?
Yeah, and then he reached out. You know, we're Facebook buddies, and he reached out and saw the ad. And I was like, you know what? We'll give you a trial run live on air. I thought, in all fairness, you know, we used to know him back in the day. So, okay, that one didn't work out. Totally get it. Do you got anyone that we could potentially bring to the table here? We need a co-host.
No, absolutely. Mike, I put a lot of thought into this. We need somebody with a ton of charisma. I feel like I'm a pretty chill guy. You're a pretty chill guy. If we could kind of get that charismatic enigma onto the show, not Jeff Hardy.
No. But we need some energy.
Yeah, bring him on, Mike. The tower of power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Oh my God, is it Randy?
Randy Macho Man Savage. Dude, I thought you had died. I thought I read a news article many years ago saying that.
No, I am. I'm a part of the there's the government agency that faked my death so I can kind of lay low for a while. I needed a kidney transplant. Yeah, and I got it. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. It's good to know that you're healthy now. I'm good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, do you think he could be our co-host? Like, why would you want to be our co-host, Macho Man?
Oh, it's a funny thing. Looking into the video scope, being the Macho King, I just feel like I need the exposure. I need to get my name back out there. And Randy, let me cut you off. Let me just cut you off right there. You're actually going to bring too many like old school wrestling fans to the show, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So, Mike, go ahead and take him off. I don't want him.
And also, what is it with these dudes and not having webcams? Like, is that like not? It's 2022. Like, get a fucking webcam.
You can get a webcam for like $10.
Like, think about the production value. Have some self-respect.
Mike, do you got anybody else, dude? Because they're literally, we just went 2 strikes.
It's a long shot, and I only have one more in my back pocket. So if this doesn't work out, that's really all I got. It's somebody that you've actually seen. You watched the first couple movies, or you watched the whole trilogy, I think, the original trilogy. And,
no way.
I actually got somebody that you said was your favorite character from those movies. Mine as well.
Fucking Ben Kenobi?
Oh, okay. Well, if that's your favorite, then no, I did not get Ben Kenobi, but I got somebody who I think is even better. Here he is now.
Yes, Travis. I am the no host. I must say, your show is impressive. Most impressive.
That's a compliment. Just pronounce his name wrong, though.
You people do not know the power of the dark side, but you will now.
Well, the show's not really about that, buddy. It's for entertainment.
Just be careful not to choke on your aspirations, director.
Whoa.
Travis, get him off.
Okay, shit, I did that as quick as I could. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, my dude, I almost passed out.
That was
he force choked me.
Dude, you usually like being choked. What happened there?
I do, but not in that way. Usually that's in the sack. That's not here live on air. So, wow, that was not how I'd hoped that would go.
Oh my
man, I'm sorry. That's all I had. That was the last guy. So I don't know. Do you have anyone else? Because if not, we're out of options.
3 strikes and we are out. That was just a segment that we wanted to do for the new format. So there's not a third man. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, we're just gonna continue the show as is, a 2-man show. I dig it. Dig it, daddy.
Yeah. I don't see any problem with that. No, Mike.
We promised.
3 strikes and we're out. but then the next hitter came up and he knocked it out of the fucking park. Welcoming to the Travis DuFour Show family. You're going to see this guy every week on every episode that we do. Love integrating this man onto the show. Without further ado, the Maverick, Joshua Strawn. It's time to wake up, buddy.
Did you enjoy your nap there, bud? Wake up. You've been drafted to the motherfucking army.
Dude, I got to work tonight, man. Like, I've got a client, it's asking for me to do some stuff tonight. Where did these lights come from?
We
actually
made a copy of your key to your house, and we've been coming in the morning when you leave.
I snuck in there ever so gently while you were sleeping, and you were sleeping like a baby, by the way. I tucked you in.
You were
ever
like
so gently.
A quiet snore, wasn't it? Like a quiet snore.
It was a quiet snore. You had a little bit of drool dripping out of your mouth right there, and I cleaned that up for you on my way out. But other than that, we're good.
I don't. How am I going to explain this to my wife?
No, she's cool with it. We actually told her about it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, well, we had a conversation. She actually made me dinner before I left. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hope you
She's really got to work on her fucking white rice. There was something wrong with it. I don't know.
I know. Well, so her chicken enchiladas are really good, but it's the rice. It's a little off.
It was a bit too crunchy for me. Rice is supposed to be soft, but
Is this really happening?
Yeah, man, we need a co-host.
Fuck it.
I mean,
Clients can wait.
Fuck it.
Yeah. What do you guys need? What do the boys need?
Well, goddamn. Welcome, Joshua Strawn, to the show. What are you bringing to the Travis DuFour Show, dude?
Well, that's a really great question. I'm glad you asked it. I'm going to bring, well, first of all, thank you so much. It's a wonderful opportunity. I really appreciate you all choosing me with your first overall draft pick. I hope I was your first overall draft pick.
Actually, we did have 3 that we tried out before you. So you're actually the 4th option. And but we'll say it first.
Story of my life. Well, anyways, as the 4th overall draft pick, I like to think that I'm underrated, and that while I'm underrated, I think I'm going to overperform the previous people that were drafted or attempted to be drafted ahead of me. And so I think I have a lot to offer to the podcast. I have a lot to offer to Travis and Mike and my ideas. But we're going to see. We're going to take it day by day, week by week, and let's see what happens. I don't even know what you guys have planned today.
Oh, hey, and that's how we like to keep it. Guys, if you want to know more about Josh, we did a whole episode over 2 hours long with Joshua Strawn. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Josh, by all means.
Great story, by the way. Amazing story. It's highly recommend the listen or the watch if you're on YouTube.
I got to ask one question. Is that light behind me a little weird, like cutting off the side of my head as if I'm like somewhat scalped there on the side?
Is it, Mike? Is he scalped?
I thought it was more like, you're coming from the heavens, like,
Oh, okay.
Would
you like me to move that a little bit, before we move along? I guess when you
maybe for the next show.
Okay. All right. I was just
Mike
thinking
is a glass half full kind of guy. I think
we roll with it.
I was going to say, you guys came in the middle of the night and set this all up, and somehow I got drafted. And
I said we set it up. I didn't say we set it up nice. We just we set the stand where we thought it should go, and we left.
We had to be quick.
All right.
Time is money,
It is. Your time is money, and so is mine. I'm billing in 6-minute increments, by the way.
Oh crap! Lawyers are expensive too.
Yeah.
Well, let's get on with the show then, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy late Thanksgiving to you guys. I hope it was.
We were 2 week hiatus, right? 2 weeks without seeing you.
Break. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I meant. Yeah, a vacation.
Yeah. And did it feel like a vacation for you guys? A pretty good Thanksgiving?
It didn't feel like one for me.
I agree with that.
What'd you do, Mike?
No, I've been working ever since. My Thanksgiving was actually postponed thanks to COVID. COVID apparently is still running wild. So a lot of my family members got COVID, pretty sick. They're all better now. So we actually rescheduled our Thanksgiving to a week from now, December 11th. So my Thanksgiving was super low key. We ended up going with my fiance and I. We ended up going to the Cracker Barrel with my grandmother.
Great.
Yeah, we went to the Cracker Barrel, and they actually had like a nice Thanksgiving turkey dinner for $15. Pumpkin pie, all the fixins. It wasn't too bad. I mean, $15, it wasn't too bad, but definitely missed out on like that big Thanksgiving meal with everybody else. That's what we would have preferred, but it is what it is.
Now, real quick, I've only been to a Cracker Barrel one time in my life, and it was after a long night of partying, and I was so fucking hungover, and the line was so long, and I didn't even wait a minute. I was like, I can get in and out of Burger King. Fuck Cracker Barrel. So I left.
Cracker Barrel actually has decent food, and you know what's even better about Cracker Barrel is afterwards you get to go through their store and check out all their cool stuff. I actually walked away with you can see it actually right there is a Darth Vader piggy bank. I found. Oh man, just random thing I found.
I thought they only sell like old time country shit.
No, they sell all kinds. I mean, I was shocked to find it, but they sell literally a variety of things. You could, never know what you're going to run into there.
I'm going to do my Christmas shopping at Cracker Barrel.
I'd consider it.
My first year in law school, I was actually I was in North Carolina at the time, and I stayed down there. So I was doing Thanksgiving by myself, and that's actually what I did. And I actually thoroughly enjoyed that, the Cracker Barrel Thanksgiving. It was a lot of fun. And you gotta love the little table games that they have there. Those are always fun.
Table games? What do you mean?
So they have the little triangle thing, and it's all about like it's kind of like, imagine like checkers against yourself. It's like a little triangle thing, and it's got like 12 holes, but like 10 little pigs, and you have to jump them over. And it's kind of like a Rubik's Cube style of how many pegs you're left over with. If you can get down to one peg left from jumping over everything, you're like a genius. Mike, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I've never heard of that in my life.
And you got to do this while you're waiting on your food or something?
Yeah. I mean,
is it the little triangle thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like it's like
that wasn't at our table. I just remembered that. That was not at any of the tables that I remember.
Sorry, man. Sorry. You know what? Actually, Cracker Barrel also serves alcohol now.
Oh, cool.
We did, but not like they didn't make it very well. The drink was not mixed.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to get like a high end bartender there.
Well, that's why you just order a beer and a shot, and you're guaranteed to get nothing but alcohol. But as soon as you order a mixed drink, it's going to be nothing but like sugar.
Well, I didn't order anything. My fiance ordered a mixed drink, and she was like, "Well, there's too much alcohol in this." I'm like, "What do you expect? It's Cracker Barrel. They don't know what they're doing."
No, they have no idea. But they do offer alcohol. So go for the straight alcohol. Don't get a mixed drink.
Take your family there, Travis.
Yeah.
Treat them to the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. I like taking my 5-year-old daughter anywhere that I can get shitty drunk. I like that.
That's a really good parent.
Yeah.
It's really good parent.
Well, you got to deal with the stress somehow.
It's working out, man.
Oh yeah. Being a first-time parent, I get so stressed out, dude. I go to the Waffle House. I'll go wherever there's alcohol. I don't care.
Yeah, well, there's no alcohol at Waffle House, but there's a lot of things you can see at Waffle House that will teach you life lessons.
We just went to the Waffle House a week ago. It's actually pretty. Our location's pretty decent.
Do people get into fights and stuff at your Waffle House too, Mike, or is it just in West Virginia?
Not at ours, but there's one for where I'm from in Youngstown. That's they're all kind. You could see all kinds of shit there.
Do they have
the lowest of the lows? What was that?
Is there a security guard there? There's like a security guard at our Waffle House.
I don't remember there being one.
I don't believe that. Mike, what's your go-to order at Waffle House?
I do. I don't know what the meal's called, but it pretty much comes with a little bit of everything. The hash browns, the one waffle, sausage.
Oh, like they're like kind of stuff. Version of. Like,
and I get the hash browns smothered, covered, cracked, whipped. Yeah. All this, whatever.
Dude. Smothered, covered, chopped, and whatever chili is called.
Yeah, I like peppered. I like the diced jalapenos.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
And Travis, if I was to ask you guys, what is smothered or what is covered, would you know?
Well, I know smothered that's with cheese. That's hash browns with cheese.
Okay. Covered, I believe, is onions.
Diced is onions, I thought. But I could be wrong.
Covered.
Whipped you might be whenever right. You have to fight the cook to have your meal.
I do know that they were very quick to bring out the bill. Like they just brought the bill like right away. I almost got the sense of like, did you not expect me to pay? Because like they set it down. They were like, well, no rush. We're just gonna set this right here. I'm like,
I love that.
I feel rushed.
No, I love that.
You love that.
It's been so long since I've been to a Waffle House. Are they still writing up the order with the pen on the old
Everything
school?
by hand? Yeah, it's old
it's
school.
still like with and you get the yellow receipt. Like here's your. Yeah. I love that.
God,
Yeah,
now that you mention
cute.
it, it's been years since
it was my fiance's first time going. She actually enjoyed it, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh.
It's definitely good food when you're drunk, though.
Oh yeah, well, 3 o'clock in the morning. What else are you gonna get?
It was pretty cool. I was wrestling in Tennessee a couple years ago, and down there they don't have Waffle House, but they have this place called Huddle House. You guys ever heard of that?
That's my fiance, or my soon to be wife here in about 3 weeks. She hates Waffle House. She calls it Awful Waffle. Huddle House is the game because it's a big thing in the South. It originated in the South. So she's from Georgia. So yeah, I'm very familiar with Huddle House.
Huddle House seemed it definitely seemed very welcoming. There was our waiter that day. She was a struggling single mom, and she had all 4 of her fucking kids there, and they were just running around getting into shit. And it felt like I was like at somebody's house. Like it felt cool.
That should feel pretty welcoming.
Never been and never heard of it.
Tugging on my shirt and shit, and I'm trying to fucking take a drink of my Pepsi, and I'm like, okay.
Some kid running into you, pulling on your shorts or your pants or whatever, and it's like, yeah, give me something. And it's like, what the fuck is this kid doing?
A lot of adults get really pissed off whenever kids start being kids around them. Are you guys those guys?
Oh, dude, I hate other people's kids.
You seem like that guy.
Loathe other people's kids. There's something about them. I don't know. Like even our neighbor kids, they're nice kids. There's nothing wrong, but they make so much fucking noise. Why? Like I am trying to enjoy peace and quiet, and they make so much noise.
It's the public-private thing for me. So like if I'm at a restaurant, I hate other people's kids. But if I go to someone's house that I've never been to, like a colleague or a friend of mine, I'm going to their house for the first time and I'm meeting their kids and they're a bunch of brats, I can deal with that. Right. Because I have put myself in that position. I've accepted that it's my colleague or friend's house, and this kid is going to tug on me or, run into me and stuff like that, be loud. And, I deal with that. But if I'm in a public place, I do get a little bit more frustrated and annoyed by it.
I forget the movie that it was, but there's a scene, maybe one of you will remember it if you've seen the movie, where this guy punches the kid in the stomach because the kid was like annoying him. Do you remember? Does any of you know what movie I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can't think of it for some reason.
Iron Man. It's the dude that played in Iron Man. And Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, and yep, I know the movie. It's
Due Date.
Yep.
Yes.
He just punched him in the stomach. He's like, "Oh, you'll be okay. Walk it off."
Yeah.
Like,
Robert Downey Jr. Because they go to that house so Zach Galifianakis can buy some weed in Alabama, I think it was. And he's sitting there. He's sitting in the living room with the kids, and he's in charge of Robert Downey Jr. is in charge of watching the kids. And the one boy is like being a little bit of a dick. And Robert Downey Jr. just right before the parents walk in gives him like a nice little, and he's like, "You'll be all right."
Right to the gut.
Yeah.
And then the kid was scared of him from that point on. That's like how I feel in the moment. I wish the parent would just turn their head so I could just elbow them right in the gut.
Yeah, I relate to that.
Not
too.
really.
I relate to it.
Definitely, that movie has one of my favorite comedy scenes of all time. Whenever Robert Downey Jr. is finally opening up and like telling Zach Galifianakis about his dad, how his dad walked out on his family, and how his dad he hadn't seen his dad, and he like all these like daddy issue kind of things. And Zach Galifianakis just starts laughing. He's like, "My dad would never do that to me.
He loves me."
That movie is amazing. I could not stop laughing watching that. I want to watch that again after.
That's good shit.
Well, one of
they
my
don't
favorite
make comedies like they used to.
No,
they really don't. Not in a while.
Yeah, ever since the female Ghostbusters, ever since that, yeah.
I think they're afraid. They're afraid to go there.
They don't age well, and now you can't do them because they won't be received very well either. In kind of the climate we're in.
Yeah, unfortunately,
well, I couldn't agree more. Just to kind of get my Thanksgiving out of the way, fucking Yeah, the day of, my fiance, we woke up in the morning. My fiance was in a ball, curled up on the bed, and I mean, we had turkey, we had mashed potatoes, everything. I don't cook, guys, so we didn't have a Thanksgiving because she was sick all day.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's definitely a bummer. I'm not much of a cook either. I only have like a few signature dishes I make well, and that's about it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, just a couple days later, I went over to my brother's to have our family Thanksgiving. I don't know about you guys, but my family, we're at a stage where, you know, we're having kids. There's a lot of kids. There's toddlers, there's kids. So I got to spend a good bit of time with the children in my life. So that was fun.
Yeah, I can relate. My brother, we got cousins, you know, they're having babies, and not us yet, but definitely in the next few years, probably after we get married. We're still got a couple years away till we get married, but
I'd wait until 40, Mike. Be that really fucking old parent.
I would, you know, part of me would like to just wait till never, because I'm scared to lose my freedom. You know, I like to just focus on me and worry about myself, and, you know, my fiance too, but my dogs. When I have another kid, like I feel like my life's going to be over in a way. Like, not like over, but like I won't be able to do anything anymore.
Well, it's definitely going to be different. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it scares me for sure. But I have dogs and I can't do anything. Yeah, I guess it's the same thing. I mean, I can't go on vacations because I'm like, oh, what are we going to do with the dogs? I mean, so it'll be the same thing with a kid. I mean, I guess I'm already living that life.
Yeah, and one aspect, you know, you can beat your dog, but you can't beat your kid because your kid will tell somebody.
You sure
He's kidding, folks. He's kidding. Pete isn't going to cancel your ass.
I am a comedian, guys. We need to.
Yeah, calm down, Michael Vick.
Jeez.
Good shit. So with Josh coming onto the show, we've kind of been having a lot of production meetings. We've been having trying to figure out where we're taking the show, and a segment that I'm very happy to bring to you guys today, which is going to be a reoccurring deal here on the Travis DuFour Show, is legal advice with Joshua Strawn. Free legal advice. Yeah.
Did we actually ever cover at the beginning of the show that he is, no jokes, he is a real bona fide lawyer. That's a real thing. That's not a gimmick.
Are you guys going to make me do this?
Yes.
You think we just chose you for no reason?
Oh my God.
We need stuff.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Take your 15 minutes. This is pro bono.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if somebody is walking across the street, right, and I don't hit them, I do not hit them with my car, I am stopped completely, and they slam their body off of my car and lay on the ground, call 911, the whole 9 yards, but there is a camera that catches the whole thing, so they're trying to fuck me, right? Can I sue them for trying to fuck me? Faking an injury, trying to get that pain and suffering check? Can I fuck them? I want to fuck them so bad.
Jesus.
You sound like Eric Cartman from South Park right now. All right. Oh my God. All right. So the scenario is trying to remember here. So you're driving and you have come to a complete stop, and there's a pedestrian who has decided to sort of launch themselves into the roadway in such a fashion that they hit your front bumper and then decide to sell it, maybe roll a little bit and maybe like sell a kidney or something and try to blame you for that. And you're wondering if you can fuck them instead of them.
Because there's a camera, there's CCTV that
There's a traffic cam, or someone on the side of the road has been using their cell phone to be like, dude, what is this? And they're like, but essentially you are at a complete stop and this person just launched.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so here's some if I was representing this situation, one of the things I would want to ask at the very beginning, because everything is all about the beginning of the story to the very end. Did you come to complete stop? And when you did come to a complete stop, how soon was it that this pedestrian launched themselves to sort of hit your car?
According to the camera footage, I was stopped for 10 seconds at a stop sign. It wasn't a light. It was a stop sign. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Stop sign. You were stopped. You were obeying traffic signals and traffic laws.
Yeah, I was checking my phone. That's why I was there for an extended amount of time. That's why I was sitting there for a second.
So if you were sitting there for 10 seconds, you're literally describing like, I'm stopping here, and someone literally had enough time to just run and.
Yes, I love the visual.
Okay, so did you suffer any damage on your car?
There's they fucked up. Whenever they ended up hitting the car, they actually got a little bit of a gash. There's a little bit of blood on my bumper.
Okay, so I would in my professional opinion, not advice. In my professional opinion, there would be no responsibility on your part. They would certainly try. I would recommend that you would still, exchange your insurance information and allow them to try to submit a claim. And that claim would probably be denied, in my professional opinion. And they would just be told no the entire way. If you didn't suffer any damage to your car, physically to your damage, to your car, like a messed up bumper or headlight that was taken out, I really don't see where the damage would be.
Nope. But see, here's where I come in. I got PT fucking SD because of that. I don't stop at stop signs no more. So
the PTSD would have to kick in at the time of the stop. Like you cannot sue them for PTSD for something you're doing like in the future because of that situation. If you're gonna tell me because of that situation you're gonna blow every stop sign because you have PTSD, that's not gonna work.
He's scarred for life though. Like
just avoiding those roads.
But let's just say, for example, let's change the hypothetical here. Let's say, Travis, that you are a veteran of the military and you served infantry in the Army or the Marines. And when this individual decided to just launch themselves on the hood of your car or wherever it may have been, that sent you into an episode that required you to go into a hospital. And it was all triggered by that event. Well, in that situation, there might be a situation that might lead to a situation where you could hire an attorney who could recover some sort of damage for that, specifically for the medical bills you would have to suffer from, any medication you might have if you had to take off work. And then there's this thing just called generally pain and suffering when you talk about torts, because that's what that would be. That would be a tort. You could potentially get some pain and suffering damages for that as well. But for the most part, you would get your medical bills paid. If that was the case, right? Like that, if that's what was the facts of that situation. But
so I'm not fucking him, am I?
You're fucking him by the fact that he's not going to get shit. And he just fucked himself up.
Okay.
He's going to get up and be like, oh, I got you. I'm going to make, this is my get out of free jail card. I'm going to get like 50 grand out of you because I'm poor. And I think that's going to change my life. And the next thing you know, he tries to file a claim with your insurance carrier and they're like, no. And then he goes to the hospital and he gets like stitches and stuff like that. And they're like, you're not covered and you owe us this money. And the next thing you know, things are going into collections and now his life is getting worse. And that's how you fuck him, by telling him no.
Okay. All right. Solid. Mike, do you have any kind of...
I actually did bring something to the table. In fact, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there's an airport in Seattle, an incident that happened just this past week, actually. A man was arrested, if I could speak properly, after throwing up the Heil Hitler salute and screaming a race war in a busy airport. So lots going on. So this isn't a situation where I need legal advice, but this guy might be needing some legal advice. So I actually have a clip to share with y'all, and we can take a look at the madness that transpired.
Yeah, this is a good
one. Pretty messed up.
Why is he doing it?
No idea why he's doing it. Mental illness? Who knows? He snapped.
Sir, your flight is getting delayed. He's like, oh yeah, well watch this.
I think it was getting delayed, or he was getting taken off the plane or something. I remember hearing about this.
Yeah, when you get to that point where you're just doing that kind of crazy shit, you had to. But there's got to be a lot of other factors that have built up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, obviously he just continues blabbing, and then
Yep.
one more. I got one more clip for you before we.
Yeah, he gets
Josh on
restrained.
this.
Oh,
He gets restrained.
Oh yeah, I like a good restraining. Kind of like Mike likes to be choked. I like a good restraining.
You have life in this, bro. You ever heard of the first?
Yeah, let me blow it up full screen.
What the hell is going on? Oh yeah,
So you
okay.
violate
He's
that 'cause I'm a
detained.
Nazi. And you're just doing it because I'm a Nazi. Yeah,
You're doing
you
this.
are. You just
No,
don't
'cause
like
you're a
my
piece of
beliefs
shit.
because I'm Christian. And you're a racist dude.
The cops don't like him because he's Christian. He says.
Oh, I thought he yelled, "You don't like me because I'm a Nazi."
He
And
did
the
also
cops-
say that, but he also mentioned the Christian.
Oh, and the cop's like, "Yeah, of course. Shut up, Nazi."
All right, Josh. So this guy is he's in some trouble right now, and he may need some legal advice.
Oh, you're gonna make me defend him?
What do you this man calls you and he's like, Josh, you're my man. I'm
Yeah.
hiring you. How do you defend this guy?
I mean, well, it's kind of hard to I will say, without what the charges are, right? What is he being charged with? So he was obviously being arrested here. So I assume there's going to be some sort of obstruction of justice, right? Like he's being told to calm down. Police have been there, right? We don't know what happened. So that first clip you provided was just him giving the Nazi salute.
Yeah.
And then the second clip is him being on the ground. So I don't know what's happening in between those two portions in time, right?
And your perspective is that Nazi salute, although vulgar, offensive, all the above, is that breaking the law?
So there's an element to where you could say that's hate speech. And because he's in an airport, which is federally regulated by the federal government, it's federally regulated, TSA and whatnot.
Do not fuck around in an airport.
Yeah, it's there are certain hate speech kind of regulations where the federal government can sort of like have a law out there, and hate speech is not protected by the First Amendment. I want to make sure that's very clear, right? A lot of people think the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights and all of its amendments, the 7 articles of the Constitution, and then there's 27 amendments. The first 10 are what's commonly referred to as Bill of Rights. That entire set of documentation that we live by in this country is only applicable to the government, and that includes the federal, the state, local governments, right? So when private companies say certain things or institute certain policies that regulate what you can and cannot say, you can't say that's unconstitutional, because that Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the amendments don't apply to private employers. Okay, so that's very important. But here's what's something that's really important to also understand: the federal government can still regulate, even in the private workplace, things like hate speech. So things that today is like Nazi sort of sympathetic kind of movements, right? You do have a freedom of expression, you have a freedom of speech. If there are certainly arguments to be made if I'm allowed to fly a Nazi flag or a Confederate flag, right? That one kind of borders on a vague line. So going back to this situation, this is a federally regulated area. It's an airport. Yeah. So there are some laws out there that are regulating hate speech already that the federal government already has jurisdiction over, because that's how we have this airport. So when he's doing that symbolism that he's doing, he's not inciting violence. So that's out of the question. He's not asking anybody to overrun the plane.
If somebody does incite violence, does it change the situation?
No. It makes a stronger argument, because incitement is another form of unprotected speech. There's multiple forms of, even if you have a free speech right, it's not absolute. There's certain exceptions. So hate speech is one, incitement is one. And so like if you can find in that video clip, the only thing you found was hate speech. But if you found elements of hate speech and him also trying to get a crowd to do violence, now you have a stronger argument. And these are things that lawyers are looking for. I don't want just one argument. I want multiple arguments, because I want all these facts to lead up. So he's not inciting violence. He's not trying to cause a riot in the airport. He's literally he literally just looks like he is just hate speech all the way. So the federal government has a right to approach him and say, hey, no good, man. You got to stop. Those law enforcement officials could have every right to tell him, you need to stop right now. He might come back. And honestly, like, he may not even be a United States citizen. That was the other thing I've been wondering. The United States,
we don't know.
Constitution only protects United States citizens, right?
That's a good point.
United States men. So, let's just assume that he is a United States citizen, but we don't know that for a fact. If he's not, then kick him out the door and do whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. You could discriminate against this individual if he's not a United States citizen in a lot of circumstances. Does that make sense? Because
Americans love doing that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if you're not a citizen, you're not having the same protections that the three of us get to enjoy. So, anyways, let's just assume that he is, but he's still doing something that is like a hate speech kind of thing, and he's really on the edge of it. So the police officers have the right to approach him and tell him to stop. On top of that, the people that were boarding are working for a private employer. A private employer, a private company can tell whoever they want to not do something, right? And if they're telling him to be quiet and not do the Nazi symbol, well, that's within their right. It doesn't matter free speech or not. Like I said, the Constitution and all of its accompanying rights only apply to the United States government. So whatever airline that was, they were telling him to stop. He wasn't stopping. He was getting worse. He was getting worse. He was getting more, and he was emphasizing his expressions more and more and more. So at that point, now it's officially hate speech in my mind. That's the argument I would make. He was warned. He was warned. He didn't listen to the flight attendants that were boarding him, who worked for a private company. He was warned. He was told not to do that. He kept going. And so as he kept going, now I believe, and you can make the argument, it's now rising to hate speech because we're telling you to stop and you keep going. So you're trying to emphasize a message that is not protected under the First Amendment, assuming you are a United States citizen. So now law enforcement can come. Law enforcement comes and says, you got to stop. Okay, well, now this is the part that's not on film, right? All we got was the very end of him being restrained. So if he was told to stop and he wasn't stopping, and they were asking him, hey, okay, you've been denied entry onto the plane. You've been denied entry to this airport now. You need to come with us. If he has decided, I don't want to cooperate, now you are obstructing justice now. So now there's two charges against you, hate speech and obstructing justice. And if he does not want to leave cooperatively at that point in time, when he's been emphasized, you need to leave, then the police have the right, in my opinion, in my professional opinion, to have that person escorted. Now, what happens when police officers decide, I'm going to now escort you out myself. I'm going to grab you by the arm and I'm going to start escorting you myself. I gave you the opportunity to leave freely. You didn't. So then you get the sort of like, I'm going to grab you by the arm, and then you start fighting back. Well, now you can make the argument for like assault on a police officer. Now I have to take you down. I have to, restrain you, which is why a lot of people say, a lot of defense attorneys say, just cooperate at the beginning because it's going to work out better for you because you only add the charges as you go along.
Yeah, and they're hoping you do at the.
Oh yeah, I did jury duty this year actually, and my case that I saw was one of the charges was an assault on a police officer, and it was because they had video footage. It was because the dude was not listening. He wasn't fucking fighting though. He wasn't fighting the officer. So whenever it came time to say, all right, what's he guilty on? What's he getting charged with today? He walked away innocent on that one whenever I was a jury, because I don't know. I didn't fucking see any hands thrown. But yeah, dude, if they want to line up some charges, they're going to fucking line them all up.
Yeah.
Especially if they really start to not like you at some point.
Yeah. And so a couple things, right? I'm going to first go to the last point you were making, Travis, is about like, if, they start lining up the charges, right? And that's really what they'll do, right? So let's say I'm defending this guy. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to have a conversation with him in a private room, and I'm going to walk through the facts. I'll certainly listen to what he thinks happened. And I'm going to try to listen I'm not going to try. I'm going to listen and try to see things from his perspective and see if I can't get an argument out of that. Because maybe he sees something. You know, maybe he has something to say about, well, when I was up there trying to board this, the flight attendant isolated me and just pulled me to the side for no reason whatsoever. She had no right to do that. I was going about my business as regular. Okay, all right. Well, if I can challenge the flight attendant pulling him to the side and make that an argument, well, then everything after that is there's this concept called the fruit of the poisonous tree. It's not applicable in this situation, but the argument would be the same. My argument would be, if it would not be for this flight attendant singling out my client, none of this would have ever happened. And it happened. So
this guy's getting off scot-free with your help.
But if I get that in front of a jury, a jury will sympathize with my client, especially if I've picked out the right jury. If I pick out the right jury and I say, because Travis, you did jury duty, so you sit there and you go through the questions, you get the defense attorney and you get the prosecutor or the plaintiff's attorney sitting there asking you a lot of questions, testing your biases, trying to see how you would vote in a verdict that is biased towards their clients. So if I'm defending this guy in jury duty, I'm going to find someone who's going to be more, sensitive to his case. And if I can have an argument that says that this flight attendant had no right to do whatever she was doing to deny him boarding, because we don't know that, right? All I got to do is introduce doubt. That's all I got to do. That's the only level. That's all I got to do. I got to make the prosecutor. The prosecutor has the burden of proof to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. All I got to do is introduce reasonable doubt. So if I can say
this is such a chess game.
It really is. It really is. It's a very fascinating thing. And so if I could, that's why I make an argument. Like, hey, if he wants to give me a story that, hey, she had no right or he had no right to deny me boarding, and then she was instigating me, she was inciting me, she was coming after me, being more of an aggressor in that situation, well, then I'll make that argument. And I just got to be prepared in that situation if I make that argument to make sure that person is going to sit on the stand and that I question them and I get the answers that I want out of that situation. But anyway, I'm going to sit down with this person. I'm going to defend them. I'm going to walk through everything. But I'm going to explain to them. And just like every defense attorney is like, why didn't you just cooperate at the beginning? Because you're going to get those charges all the way up, like all the way through. If you're not cooperating, they're going to hit you with every single one. And now, because we've gotten to this point, my whole goal, a lot of defense attorneys' goal is going to be to settle this matter for something really small. And the small thing in this situation would be the obstruction of justice charge, not the hate speech and not the assault on an officer, the obstruction of justice, which means you're probably not going to be able to fly a plane for the next year. And on top of that, you'll never ride this airline for the rest of your life. That's probably what's going to end up happening in that situation. So just
if this whole thing was this guy doing like a publicity stunt to promote Kanye West's next album, do you think that would get him off?
No, not at all. Not at all. Actually, that'd be even worse. That would really work against him.
This kind of brings up an interesting question, though. Like, so if you were to take on this case defending him as a lawyer, you don't actually have to like your client. You don't have to agree with your client. That's your job to defend them, right?
It's assuming you take the job. It's my ethical duty. So every lawyer. So I love that you asked this question because it's a really good opportunity to say this, because a lot of people are like, oh, how can you defend someone that you know is absolutely guilty? Okay, well, first of all, I don't absolutely know. I really don't. Now, is there a chance that I find out that they absolutely are guilty? Sure. There's probably a high probability that I will. I know when I did private practice, I have done some criminal stuff before. 50% of the time, I was finding out whether or not they were actually guilty or not. My job is not to prove their guilt. Yeah, I'm the criminal defense attorney. That's the other guy's job or the other girl's job, right? Like, that's their job. They find out the guilt. I have an ethical obligation to defend my client. And it's actually in our rules of professional conduct. And if I don't do it, I violate the rules, which means I could lose my license as a lawyer. Wow, I have to walk through the situations. I have to walk through the facts. I have to walk through the procedure. One of the biggest things you'll probably hear about how can you defend someone if you know they're guilty comes up in the situation of drug charges or murders as well. Let's get rid of the murders part because that's not what we should be talking about. We'll talk about the drug charges. Drug charges is one of the easiest things to defend in a lot of ways because the government has to have a reason to have stopped an individual in order to find out they have, or to seize an individual, or to search an individual. There's a lot of protection that people have when it comes to possession of drugs that, for the most part, if you just listen and understand what defense attorneys are always trying to say and what you hear even on social media about cooperating with law enforcement, your defense attorneys can do a lot. You hear about this Fourth Amendment right, no unreasonable search and seizure, you need a warrant, whatever. So if I'm driving a car and a police officer pulls me over and because I'm speeding, well, that doesn't mean he has an absolute right to, search my car and find drugs. Now, I know and I understand there's a segment of our population, there's a segment of the world that thinks that it's not that clean and simple, that some people are singled out because of their race, the color of their skin, their ethnicity, whatever. I understand that. It's a very valid point, but we're going to keep this at a very just generic level. And so, generally speaking, if you get pulled over, that doesn't mean that he has a right to search your car. He has to be justified in searching your car at that point because he doesn't even have a warrant. So if you're speeding, just pull over, make sure your hands are visible, right? That's one of the first things. Make sure your car is turned off. What I like to do is I turn my car off and I throw my keys because I have been pulled over before for speeding. Throw my keys on the dashboard so they're out of reach. I actually throw them over on the passenger side front so that they're all the way over there. I can't even I literally have to make a complete lunge to grab these keys in order to do it.
And why do you do that?
Because first of all, it makes the officer feel safe because we have to understand law enforcement officers do deal with a dangerous job. And so they're working on high alert all the time. So the more that I can make him feel safe, the more likely that this stop is going to, be more peaceful and more less stress-free. So throw the keys over there. I will always unbuckle my seatbelt because if he asks me to get out of the car, I don't want him to have to see me reach down.
But couldn't he then say, "Oh, you're not wearing your seatbelt today, John"?
No. I'll tell him I took it off. And if he wants to challenge me on that, I mean, I'm a lawyer. I will tell him right now, you did pull me over for a seatbelt violation, and if that's your argument, most states treat a seatbelt violation as a secondary cause to pull someone over, so you can't pull me over for that. I will just tell him straight up, I took it off because if you ask me to get out of the car, would you rather me have my seatbelt off now with my hand showing, or would you rather me have my hand showing, my seatbelt not taken off, and then I get a chance to reach down and you can't see my hand and what I'm reaching down to? Sure, maybe I might be unbuckling my seatbelt, but you don't see my hand.
Yeah. So you just want to make it.
And this is exactly why I couldn't be a fucking police officer, because if I pulled over somebody like Josh, my fucking trigger finger is going to get so itchy the 8th time that he fucking challenged me.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what are you doing? Get out of the car.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn my body cam off real quick.
Yeah.
No problem.
So
you just see me press a little button. You're like, what'd you do there? Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. So just to try to wrap this up a little bit, if you're doing all of that and you're cooperating, this officer doesn't have a right to search your car. He is not going to get a right to search your car until you start showing some suspicion that you're doing something else illegal. Whatever.
You could say no, right? You could say no. I don't.
You can say no. And you should always say no. You should always say no when they ask you.
Especially when I got a kilo of Coke in the back. Yeah, I'm definitely going to say no.
Yeah, I don't care if you have anything in your car. You always say no, because the thing is that once you give consent, you have opened up the door. And you can't challenge that anymore. You're taking away that argument. Okay, well, he said that my client said no to you searching the car, and you still search the car. For what grounds? Okay, well,
and at that point, they would need a warrant, though?
No. So there's exceptions to the warrant requirement. Sometimes there's hey, I had a reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion is okay, what'd you have a reasonable suspicion of? They were drinking and driving. Okay, what did you search in that situation? Well, I searched the trunk of the car. Well, you said they were drinking and driving. So what made you think you had a reasonable suspicion to search the trunk, right? You have the right, if you think they're drinking and driving, okay, so you can search the inside compartment of the car and see if there's a beer can in there. You can search underneath the car. Maybe you can even look on the floorboard of the back seat. Anything within arm's length, right? That's a reasonable suspicion if you think they're drinking and driving, but you don't have the right to search the trunk of the car. So if you said no to them searching the car and he still decided to do it, the officers still decided to do it, and they searched the trunk of the car, and they're sitting there and telling the prosecutor, well, I thought they were drinking and driving. That's not going to hold up in court. It'd be like, well, if they're drunk, their alcohol is not in the trunk. Right?
Yeah.
They have to have a specific suspicion. If they do not have a warrant of whatever they found, the suspicion or the probable cause that they developed, probable cause is a higher level up. They have to have a reasonable suspicion, and that's a very low level, and it comes with a little bit less power than probable cause. If it's probable cause, you get a little bit more scope of authority to search, but you gotta justify these with real facts, and then what you find and what you get needs to be justified by the facts. So always just understand that there's a lot of power with being the citizen in that situation. Like I said, we're not going to talk about the murder situation. That's totally different.
Yeah,
I don't like talking about that one. But when you're talking about just being stopped, and you ask them, why are you stopping me? If they haven't told you, if they don't tell you right out the gate, then that means they're fishing for something.
Yeah, right out the gate. Because most officers, the second they walk up to you, so I'm pulling you over today. Because anytime I've been pulled over. So let me tell you this.
Well, wait. Why do you think they always ask you? Do you know why I'm pulling you over today?
Yeah, I always actually hated that question. Like, dumbass, you know why you pulled me over.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they probably want to see if you incriminate yourself.
Dude, you know what my favorite one is? I did this one time, and the officer actually literally told me, you're a dick. He literally said it. He goes, do you know why I was pulling you over today? I was like, no, I don't. I was just chilling and driving on the road, just kind of listening to some music. But, feel free to, let me know. I just want to be cooperative. And he literally looked at me. He's like, you're a dick.
You're a dick?
Yeah.
He pulled you over because you're a dick, or he's just telling you in the moment?
No. He told me I was a dick because he was literally just looking for someone to pull over. So he had no reason to pull me over. He literally
was just trying to see if you would have said something.
I was driving to the country on my way to a show. It was 2017. I was going to Petersburg, West Virginia, or Mount Storm. I can't remember. I was going to an elite show that I was booked for, and I was just driving on a back road, and it was sort of like midday, and it was just like really dead. And I guess maybe this dude was just like straight up bored, and he just wanted to do something. So
he wanted to play cop today.
Yeah, he wanted to play cop today. He was just sitting out there. I didn't see him. I was just doing a speed limit. I was on a mountain and everything. The mountains of West Virginia, if you're on them, and they're
so if you said, "Oh, I think I was speeding," then
yeah, he'd been like, "Oh yeah, what do you think you were doing?" And then you're like, "I don't know, 63 and a 55," and he's like, "All right, well, let me license and registration."
And then it's a thing. Yeah.
It's a thing. Yeah. When they say, why do you know why I pulled you over here today? Yeah, say something that just is very ignorant. Just be like, I don't know. Honestly, tell you
because I look good.
Because your mother's a fat bitch.
Don't be sarcastic. Don't be sarcastic. Just play it off cool. Just be like,
because you want some, officer. Is that why you pulled me over?
You want to get fucked?
Just feel like I was just chilling, listening to music. I honestly don't understand. Just play dumb. I have no idea why. And then if he's like, I caught you speeding, and then continue to play dumb. Really? How fast was I going?
Me speeding?
Yeah. How fast was I going? Hey, but don't like.
So you're saying even if I was speeding, be like me speeding, like just play stupid?
Yeah.
Even though I'm going 90 and a 30.
Just turn into Forrest Gump.
Because you got to understand something. All right. So here's another thing that you're going to help your defense attorney out. All right. Let's say you were going 75 and a 55. All right. That's reckless driving in most states. Okay. You get pulled over, and let's say you deploy my tactics that I just told you, where you're just kind of playing dumb the entire time. Well, now I get your ticket. I've got, let's assume also the body cam footage was working and everything. So we got video evidence of what you're saying and how it went and how the stop went. Okay. So you're playing dumb. You were in fact speeding according to what he clocked you at. But guess what? I can actually challenge the radar that he used. And if you're in West Virginia, I'm pretty sure there's quite a few officers who are utilizing radar that are not up to date in code. And if I challenge that, then the judge is going to throw that out.
Fuck yeah. Another one for the criminals.
For the criminal.
Well, that's my job. That goes back to the ethical responsibility, right? My job is to put on a case. I have to give you a defense. And on top of that, when it comes to criminal defense work, it is my responsibility, my ethical responsibility, to throw every defense you possibly have, regardless if I know you're guilty or not. Now, here's where the how can you do something if you know they're guilty actually is true. If I know that if I'm representing a client, my client has the right to take the stand, right? You know that whole idea, I plead the fifth. That is the defendant's right to do that. I can't force them to do it, nor can I tell them not to do it. I can advise them and say, I don't think you should do this. I've been in that situation too. I don't think you should do this. Why, Mr. Joshua? Because you are fucking guilty.
You are guilty.
And that prosecutor is going to cross-examine you, and you're going to look like a jackass, and that jury's going to totally convict you, right? That's kind of how that conversation goes. But if the
glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Right. If the client is adamant that they want to take the stand, they can take the stand, right? That's their right. They can do that. But if my client decides not to take the stand, and the only evidence you have is them playing dumb, and I'm challenging that radar, and I have proven that the radar is not up to code, I win.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, there you go. Winner,
So
winner.
to put a bow on that guy real quick, that was showing you that crazy man in the airport. Does he belong on a no-fly list?
So that's more of a personal opinion. That's not really professional because, like,
That's true. Yeah.
You know, like the TSA could say, like, you know, I think TSA could get away with saying, like, you're not allowed to fly on any airline for the next year, right?
Yeah.
But the actual airline, I don't know what it was. It kind of looked like American Airlines. If American Airlines, let's assume it was American Airlines, if they're like, you're never allowed to fly with us ever again, well, that's completely within their right.
That's their company.
Yeah, the only men that I've let touch my ball sack in, in my adult life is a doctor and TSA. So
Good old turn and cough.
Well, the
they
TSA,
need
you
to
don't have much
know
of a
if there's
choice.
something in there.
They'll know.
The only way to
I thought
know
this
is-
segment was cool, though. It was cool getting some advice and
That's not advice. It's professional.
actually opinion, of course. We should have disagreement at the bottom. Opinion. It's an opinion. Actually, one of the clips that I played, that one with the airport, was supposed to be one of my clips of the week. But then as we were going through this law thing, I was like, well, this makes way more sense for that than.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that. That
for
was
sure.
a good one. Yeah.
If I could tell this story real quick, this is the last time I got pulled over. I think I've only been pulled over less than 5 times my whole life. But anyway, I was at a UFC party. This was a couple years ago. And for some reason, there was a lot of marijuana at this UFC party. A lot. I remember constantly a bowl being passed around or a blunt. It was one or the other. And I got
both.
willy-nilly. I got so goddamn stoned. And UFC pay-per-views usually end about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Those are late nights if you enjoy a UFC pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And pay-per-view's over. I hit the road, and I was in Hagerstown, Maryland, heading back to West Virginia.
Were you driving?
15-minute drive. Yep, just me.
Oh yeah.
And,
So you were driving after all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
felt like I could handle it. I felt like I was okay.
Yeah. Most people do.
I was giving myself pep talks. Trav, you can do this, Trav. Come on,
Yep,
Trav.
most people
Start
do.
the car.
Most part there.
And
Put it
yeah,
in gear.
man, I got maybe 2 blocks away from the house I was at, and boom. There was somebody pulled over on the side, and I saw that. So I was like, okay, cool. Cops are busy. I'm good. So I keep driving. I'm just driving steady, paying attention to the miles per hour. And there was another cop that was at that stop that left that stop and got behind me, pulled me over. I was like, okay, he saw something that I didn't. I'm doing something wrong, because I knew for sure I was not breaking any laws. Walks up to the window. Do you know why I pulled you over? I said, no, sir. Asked me for license registration. He's looking at my ID, And he looks at me dead in my face and goes, "Your headlights aren't on." I was like, "Oh, it's 2:00 in the morning. My headlights aren't on."
Well, hard to drive without those.
Needless to say, Hagerstown, Maryland is very well lit. I couldn't tell.
So that's
Well,
actually an
plenty of
argument, right? That would have been an argument. Like, I mean, did you get ticketed?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, but if you did, that would have been an argument. I mean, like, do you know where you make that argument? Like,
I don't think he was in a state of mind to make arguments, though.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying, like, if I had to represent Travis, like, that would be something I would say. I'd be like, Mr. Officer, I would even question the officer. I'd cross-examine him. I'd be like, "Officer, have you ever been down that road before?" "Yeah." "All right. Well, do you know how many lights are there?" "Yeah." "Okay. Well, tell me how lit is it?" "Well, it's pretty easy to see." "Okay. So if he was driving without his headlights, do you think you could still see?" "Well, yeah." "Do you always drive with your headlights out there?" "Not necessarily." Let me ask you a question, Mr. Officer. When you are patrolling that area, that section of Hagerstown where it's well lit, do you ever find yourself in your patrol car just sitting and waiting to pull another car over when your lights aren't on and then still be able to see? "Yeah." "Oh, thank you." Questions, right? So if he can see without his lights on, if he can see without his lights on to be able to pull you over, there we go.
Nice. Yeah. Walking away scot-free. And the only accident the only car accident I've caused, I hit a cop, and that was another situation where
you hit a cop. Okay. Well, that's great.
No
Good job.
ticket, no nothing.
No. Okay. All right.
Cops love me.
You must know somebody.
I'm good with my hands. But...
Oh, jeez. I'm glad you're the co-host, Josh, because now I'm gonna go commit a murder and then I'm gonna call you.
No.
He said he didn't want to talk about murders tonight.
Yeah. No, if that happens though, I got someone I can refer you to.
Nice. I'm getting off scot-free.
Very nice. And guys, that is your legal advice of the week.
Legal opinion of the day.
So, Mike, you've got some videos that we're going to be watching today, huh?
Yeah, I got some clips that I came across that just struck me as interesting in some way or another. So I got 3 clips lined up, and we'll take a look at the first one here. This one is just a stupid kid in the background. We'll take a look here.
So Petronia's party in full swing yet?
I think you can see the.
It's definitely in full swing. It's close to 9 o'clock, and thousands of people are out here. You can see tons of people hanging here. This is the big party going on. So,
but then watch he has like a dead
like
stare at times.
Yeah, it looks like it's like
someone just yelled "fuck her" right in the pussy. By the way,
a lot of people are here celebrating.
Governor
Brian was even
look at this
got to move like Jagger.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of happy people to see downtown
Summerlin
opening up here in this part of the valley. And of course, this party wouldn't be complete without my friend Tad Florendo. Thanks for joining me out here. Man, it is a party, isn't it?
I think the thing I'm trying to figure out the most
we were mentioning this earlier.
How does that kid identify?
Out there, it looked just like New Year's Eve.
He's been watching too many Lady Gaga music videos.
They're trying to cut him out. Oh, see that like face he makes? Very odd.
How do you know he's a he?
Oh, is it not a he? Oh man, you never know. I guess these days.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I almost feel like I should.
I had assumed.
Referring to.
Do you see the disgust? He just looked at somebody. He's like, "Oh my god, gross."
That's a they. That's a they.
Yeah. So
that's a they.
Oh wow. Okay.
Non-binary.
So creepy ginger in the background dancing. That's what you wanted to bring to us today, Mike.
That's what I came across. There wasn't actually a lot that I found that was worth bringing on, to be honest. But I came across that and saw that dude in the background, and he intrigued me a bit, I guess. This one, maybe this will get you a little bit more. We'll see. So this kid, orders something from Amazon, and his mom sees it. You can see the caption there. Let's take a look at this.
I have no idea what this is.
I have no idea what this is.
So excited.
That's a large package.
I have no idea.
Well,
He's so excited though. He wants to
trying
know.
to see what it is.
Wonder what it could be.
He's so curious.
Big metal, like plastic.
He wants it to be great.
Look, there's like a glass bottle.
He took a glass bottle.
I'm opening it. Chill.
Yeah, he wants to open it.
It just looks like a vase for like
A vase.
Like, what the frick?
This is the kid. He actually ordered it though, and he didn't want his mom.
I didn't order that.
Well, I didn't order
Ordered
that.
an Xbox card. Or Xbox remote.
I ordered an Xbox remote.
Oh wow! I did not order that.
Wow, that's a very
yeah.
nice piece, though.
It is really nice, actually.
And his mom's
Yeah,
about to
that's pretty
confiscate it
solid.
too. Oh no, that's not. That was not part of the.
Are we we're protecting the queen? What are you watching, Mike?
No, it was a part of a TikTok compilation. So that's one of the one of the things.
We got a police stop here.
You want to see? You want to see it?
You got a police stop here, bro.
You're gonna be shot.
Let's take a look. This wasn't a planned clip.
Oh, you should start this back over from the beginning. I'll give you commentary right here about what's going on.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep your hands on the car. Good move.
No, start from the beginning. Start from the beginning of this video. I want to see
Of the whole
no,
the whole thing.
No, just the beginning.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. We'll see the king always protects his queen.
Keep your hands on
Here we
the
go.
trunk. Face away from us.
All right.
Turn, face,
So,
keep your hands on the trunk.
All right. Submissive position. I want to see the hands.
Do not move. I'm gonna approach you. If you move, you're gonna be shot. Less legal.
See, if somebody's telling me that don't move or I'm gonna be shot, I'm gonna take that serious.
Understand all the police officers. He's obviously not a threat.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Give me a couple seconds. I'll uncuff you and I'll hand you your crutches and you'll be on your way. Sound good?
Hand you your crutches.
He's on his crutches, and yet they had 5 officers with guns drawn.
Some dude, some little pussy ass.
All right,
dude
yeah,
once said
get
to me,
Andrew
yeah, but
Tate off this shit. He's a fucking goof. He's a fucking clown.
I had
So
no fucking clue Andrew Tate was even on this video. I had no fucking clue.
let me ask you this: if you got 5 cops pointing their gun at you, one of them says, you know, if you move or whatever, you will be shot. If they throw something like that out to you, and then the anxiety and all this shit that's going through your head whenever this is happening, if that just overcomes you and you pass the fuck out and you just start falling and they open fire and they shoot your passing out body, oh
my god!
Well, I guess you can't sue because you're dead. Your family.
And there's certainly a wrongful death suit there, though. Hey, your family's going to be able to sue. Just understand what they're looking for in that situation is knee-jerk violent reaction. So they are trained to anticipate sort of like you being stressed out and anxious. So they're trained to sort of like see like the body moving and shaking, right? Like I'm like jittery and like they see my like arms kind of making jolts and twitching. Like they're in their head,
they're like, is this fear or is this dude about to fucking make his move?
That's why like that, you know, they're trained that way to also like, hey, put your hand in that situation, hands on the trunk of the car, because like, you know, as long as if you're spread out like that, like it's going to be pretty obvious what is a intentional move and what's a unintentional move, meaning like a twitch or like I'm leaning over or something like that. Because like if you're going to make an intentional move, it's going to require a lot of actual movement. You know, you're going to actually have to pick up your hand and move it around, you know, kind of thing. And in that situation, you do something like that. Okay, yeah, for sure, dude, you're going to probably get popped. I don't understand why with a dude with a cast on his leg.
So overboard.
It's so overboard, and it actually looked like legit guns instead of tasers. I mean, like you don't know the whole context of that over there, but from face value, it didn't look necessary.
You know, while we're on air, actually, I just thought of what a cool segment could be is finding a couple videos of police stops and then having that be a part of either the legal segment or a part of just its own thing, whatever the case be. But that would be kind of interesting.
Let's do that in the future.
Yeah,
old school
for sure.
Pull off some old school cops.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we should do a watch along with the Maverick of Kindergarten Cop with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah,
Kindergarten.
Yeah.
I actually underestimated how difficult it would be to find decent clips. So like next week, I'm gonna put more time earlier to find some, because to find a decent clip actually takes time.
What's your next decent clip?
So this is hopefully I picked a winner with this last one. That's why I saved it for last. Do you guys, I don't personally, do you guys like reality TV? Do you like the Kardashians?
Yeah, Taylor, you know, my soon-to-be wife, she calls it trash TV, but she loves it.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I personally don't. I can't stand the Kardashians or any of the reality TV stuff.
if you're talking old school, like whenever reality first started, whenever the Real World was on MTV and stuff like that, I am all about that shit because it felt unscripted. But any like last 10 years or longer reality, yeah, it's all scripted. I like a true reality show.
So this video is kind of poking fun at the whole Kardashian thing and the kind of format, the kind of dramatic format that they follow. So it's about a minute long. We'll take a watch and see if it's any good.
All right, let's go.
Don't freak out. I had a health scare.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yesterday, I had a headache.
Oh my God, that's not funny.
It's not funny. What started out as a headache escalated to the point of levitation.
Courtney was the girl.
Face with the Grim Reaper, and he was begging to take my life. I looked up all of my symptoms on WebMD.
That's Courtney.
What did WebMD say?
It said I had a brain-eating amoeba.
No, but did you have any other symptoms, or did you just have a headache?
Or it might be her mom.
So rude. That's so rude.
You just had a headache.
I have to get up and I have to take a second.
Taylor loves the Kardashian show.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Are you okay?
She literally flipped out at me.
I know. She's still flipping out.
God, this is dead on.
Right here.
I'm
so dead on.
Headache right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let me add 911 to the call.
Wait, how do you do that? Should I do it? How long do you think I'm going to be in the hospital for? I have like a thing tomorrow.
Like pack up some things, get a little bag together. Let me keep you in our thoughts and prayers, okay?
All right, I'm going.
Oh my God. The only thing I'm thinking right now is I need you to send me this clip so I can send it to Taylor.
I definitely will, yeah.
So that she can see how I see the Kardashians.
That is, when I was watching it, I'm like, this is exactly how I see it. It's just the same. It's so corny and dramatic for no reason.
She watched the Kardashians and she sees the Kardashian show and she sees it for what it is. Like she sees the girls, she sees them living their life, and it just looks like that. But when I watch it, that's what I see. Yeah, I see the exaggerated helicopter in the air. I'm gonna sit right next to you and talk shit about you, and all some other stuff. And I need to send that to her so I can throw some shade at her.
Now, guys, if you like that, next week we have a very, very fun episode. We are going to be watching the independent wrestling match, Travis DuFour versus Josh Brinkman, who is Joshua Strawn. That was one of his stage names he went by. So we will be doing that next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. That was a great match. It was a very solid match. I don't think anybody could actually watch that match and say that there's not a person that I can think of that could watch that match and say, I would not put that match on my card. It would offer value to the card. It would offer something for the fans to see. You know, it was definitely not like WrestleMania stuff, main event stuff, but it was definitely something that there was any promoter would be like, yeah, I'd put that on my card because it would be a solid match. It would offer something to the show, add to the psychology of the show. And for you and me, it was fun because it was kind of like full circle, getting to work together from everything we've been through. You know, obviously it gives me an opportunity to plug the first show you guys brought me on to go walk through my story. And we talked about how you and I first met and you got me into the wrestling business. So, you know, it was a lot of fun to go from getting in the wrestling business and full circle to actually work with you in the ring.
Well, I'd put that match on Velocity for sure.
On Velocity.
Yeah. Actually, you know, you could actually. I mean, that's
a compliment. I used to love Velocity.
Yeah.
Me too.
Velocity was so much better than Sunday Night Heat.
John Cena used to wrestle on Velocity back in the early days.
Actually, that man, Saturday night, what was it like? Was it 9 or 10?
Yeah. I think like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Yeah. And you got like a solid hour. And it was like, there was like 3 matches on it, maybe 4 sometimes.
Yeah.
You got a nice little recap of, I think they even did a recap of Raw on there too. They gave you both Raw and SmackDown recaps, even though Velocity was supposed to be a SmackDown show because Sunday Night Heat was supposed to be for Monday Night Raw. But I think you got a little recap of Raw. I can't remember that for sure. I know you got a recap of SmackDown. So, but it was a lot of fun.
When wrestling was good and watchable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think Triple H is doing some good things. You know,
things
come slow. Things come slow.
Yeah. No. Can I take this show into a serious direction just for a moment?
Yeah.
It's your show.
So, with that being said, me trying to become a stand-up comedian, I've been working very hard at it. I write every day, and not all of your material is going to land. Not all of it's going to be great. You got to workshop a lot of your stuff. But with that being said, one of my jokes that I've been doing a couple months now, which has actually been a very reaction, like I get a lot of reactions with this joke. It is essentially an active shooter joke. That's essentially what it is. I have decided that, and this is actually kind of hard for me to do this. I'm not going to tell that joke anymore because of something that happened over the weekend. So before we jump into what happened over the weekend, let me explain the joke and why it's funny. The joke starts with me talking about fuck. See, now I'm forgetting the joke. The guys, never come see me do comedy because this is exactly how it looks.
He's like, oh fuck, I forgot the joke. God damn it!
You know,
damn it! He just walks off stage screaming, cussing.
Well, I essentially started off with saying that I've been recently diagnosed with bipolar. So I realized that I kind of have to change things about my life. I need to make some changes. So I decided that I didn't like my job anymore. I was going to quit my job. But instead of putting in my 2 weeks, every day for 2 weeks, I'm going to mention in the pre-work meeting, I'm going to ask if there's any kind of like active shooter training, if we've thought about if an active shooter came in here. And then after 2 weeks of doing that every day, just stop showing up. And it's like a ha ha ha. That's shocking. It's shocking. So you laugh. And then the next part is, so at my next job, I got a temp agency job. I started being a recruiter at a temp agency, got to hire people. One of the big things about working at a temp agency is that you can't hire pedophiles. So pedophile after pedophile that would come into the place, I wouldn't hire them because that's, against the rules of the temp agency. And then
how do you
after a while,
how do you
say it
figure
again?
that out? Oh, the registry. That's how you'd know, right?
Yeah. It is public
knowledge. I was trying to figure out how would you know, but it makes sense.
Yeah. So one by one, and then finally, the person who owns the temp agency pulls me off to the side and says, you're not hiring anybody. We don't know if this is working out exactly. And then I bring up to her, have you ever thought about if there was like an active shooter situation in the temp agency? Then I just stopped showing up after 2 weeks. So boom, that's the second laugh. And then you tell a different joke that has nothing to do with active shooting. And then the last joke that you tell is my daughter's birthday is coming up. She's going to be 5. Is there any dads in the crowd? Applause. There's dads in the crowd. Great. That's cool. My fiance has said, yeah, I've got the birthday cake ordered. I'm like, oh, great. What's on the birthday cake? Got all the presents ordered. Oh, what did you're going to say there for me too, right? Cool. Got where the party's going to be. Now I kind of realized after a while that she's planning the whole birthday party like without me. So I asked her, have you ever wondered if there was like an active shooter situation at the birthday party? That's my closer. And then, hopefully that's the big reaction. And that joke has done very well at my open mic nights. It's my only 3-part joke. So I'm proud of it. I have a sense of pride telling that joke. Yes, it is. It's dark material. I get that. Very dark. But there are people who love dark comedy like that.
I do. Yeah.
So what I really also hear is not just the content of the joke. What I actually hear, from me, what I actually really hear the most is the artistic value of how you develop this 3-part joke that lives throughout your entire skit, which is very, very, very important. You watch anything, you watch any of those comedy specials on Netflix or whatever streaming that you have, and it has a comedy special and it's an hour long. There's always that comedian, whoever they are, they have a joke that they plant the seed at the beginning, and then their go home joke, the last one of the show, is always full circle because they have been planting seeds the entire way through. And so you felt like you developed a joke where you had started developing that skill set where you can plant something and like feed it through to the end and then hit the home run at the end.
Yeah.
As that entertainment value, as that artist, dude, I get it. I think you're in the right to retire the joke, but I think this is an opportunity for you to actually kind of open up and get a little more creative. You know how to deliver it. You know how the structure works. You know how to put it in there, when to plant seeds, when to not. I know you got some other good content. So I just encourage you to, keep on scratching and keep on digging for that next joke. I think one of the fun ones to always do, if you want to keep it more lighthearted, obviously being a dad, right? There's something in there that you can do. Being a fiance, future husband is in there as well, right? You can do that as well. Those are low hanging fruits where you can do that same structure. They work out really well. But I think that's what I hear when you just talking to you previously about the joke and how like it was a little disappointing that you were going to do this. Now hearing your explanation for it, it's more about like you really felt like you had a really good delivery here. You really had something that you could
something you worked on.
You worked on. You could always hang if you were having a shitty night, you always knew that this joke would at least get you home and make, it was a confidence builder no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think you're making the right move here, brother. But you got the skill. If you learn how to deliver that joke, you just got to find the next joke that you're really invested in and that you feel very confident in, and you'll be able to do the same thing with that as well.
And I got to ask, were you facing any backlash, or is this just a personal choice based on current events?
None. No backlash whatsoever. I told that joke to my mom, and she was like, "Oh, Travis, what? No." But she's your mom.
Yeah, of course.
But
your mom.
Life is just so fucking weird how there's all these connections. Over the weekend, there was a Walmart employee somewhere in Virginia. You guys can look up the article if you want.
An hour away from me.
Yeah. There was an employee that, and there was complaints about this employee. He had been walking up to fucking.
And he wasn't just an employee; he was a manager.
He was manager.
Yeah, a manager. And he was like, "That's my joke." He walked up to people and was like, "You ever thought if there was an active shooter situation?" He'd smile and walk away. Then he fucking did. He killed 6 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just way too close to my joke. So I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. So stop being funny to you because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what if I fucking say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to let situations like that hold me down. I'm going to keep telling that joke. That's my joke. I'm going to keep telling it. And just wait. The next time I do it, like there's people fucking walking up, leaving and shit. Yeah.
Or waiting for you in the parking lot.
Which, no. Yeah, I don't want that. I'm getting too old for that.
Yeah.
Let me test out my jujitsu skills. Let me offend everybody, and I will fucking fight all of you. But thank you guys for letting me have that little platform there.
Of course.
I can't.
You made the right call, I think.
Comedy wise.
Yeah, me too. I like seeing the clips that you put up here and there. I hope you post more.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have good clips to post them.
Well, post shitty clips. I don't care. You got that's practice makes perfect. That's what I always say. Get feedback from people and hone the jokes, and you're gonna get there, man. So,
but anyway, so let's pick it up, guys. Let's pick it up a little bit. So week by week, we'll talk about what we watched that week. If there's any big series that are kind of catching our eye or anything like that. Because I know that, Mike, you had brought up to me a couple weeks ago about, the Jeffrey Dahmer series. That was hot. Everybody was watching that. I still haven't. But what have you guys been watching this week?
You want to take it, Josh?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So last night, Taylor and I started watching Wednesday.
I want to see that. Yeah.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday from Addams Family.
Okay.
Yeah, the premise is a younger Wednesday, and she actually is like kind of committed to this sort of like reform house. So it's cute. Like, I don't want to give too much away. No spoilers. I
Is
think
it a movie or a series?
It's a series on Netflix.
Oh,
It's a series on Netflix.
Do they post like all the episodes at once, or do you have to wait each week?
I don't know. Because Taylor was watching it last night, and I walked in, and she was halfway through an episode, and I watched the second half of the episode. And I was like, okay, this is not bad. Like, I mean, I know entertainment, I know storylines, so I don't necessarily have to watch something from the beginning to pick up and know what's happening. I think I have a really good mind for entertainment, so I had a really good idea what was going on. I don't ask a lot of questions, and so I just watched. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And I watched the second episode with her, and it was really good too. I was like, okay, this is great. Obviously we're doing the podcast tonight, and she was out there in the living room watching the show, but it's really, really good. If you're in the Addams family, I was not a big Addams family person, but it's very entertaining, very solid, good time spent. The actress that they chose to play Wednesday is spot on what you would think of the Christina Ricci Wednesday as a younger girl.
That's like, iconic.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Christina Ricci as Wednesday in the actual movies, iconic. I mean, people do Halloween costumes for that,
It's interesting that it's supposed to be a younger Wednesday, because I think the actress who plays her is actually like 19 or 20.
She's probably older than what Christina Ricci was when she was actually playing Wednesday in the actual movie. Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree.
So you recommend?
I'd give it a shot. Yeah, I'd give it a shot. Watch an episode or two and see what you think. If you're an Addams family, specifically Wednesday, because she is the main character. I mean, she is legitimate. She's actually more of a detective. She's trying to solve a crime. That's the other thing. She's trying to solve a crime that's happening in the city. And so that's really cool to watch. She's like apparently this like 14-year-old girl trying to solve a crime after she's been committed to this reform home. Very interesting, very solid storyline, very good plot.
That just really fucking sounds weird. The creepy girl from the creepy family is solving a crime.
Yeah.
With her talking dog.
Yeah. And so there's that. Taylor is also very, very in tuned to how entertainment works. So we paired up Wednesday with starting the new Santa Claus series on Disney Plus.
Yeah, we've been watching. Right.
So you go from like that creepy crime mystery style to Christmas, right? So think about it like a wrestling match in psychology, right? The ups and the downs, right? And she gets that as much as I do. Like we'll sit there and watch a really serious movie and then watch a very dumb, funny movie afterwards to kind of do the pick me up, right? And you're doing your own sort of psychology right now. So that's the second thing. That's this week. Right now, it's also football season for me. So if there's football involved, I'm all over it. College, National Football League, Washington, of course, season ticket holder. So, every week I'm watching football.
You go to the games. Are people walking around calling them the Nationals, or are there old school fans who are like, yeah, I can't wait to see the Skins play today?
Yeah. Well, the Nationals are baseball.
I'm sorry. What's your team?
The Commanders, right?
Commanders.
They're the Commanders. Commanders, left hand.
That's like such a downhill name.
I don't fucking watch football.
What a cool name it was.
Yeah.
Hey, did they at least let you wear the old school gear at the stadium though?
No. You can wear.
That's good.
Gear.
You know what's bullshit? Because I live near Cleveland, and I've been, grew up in Ohio, so I was a Cleveland Indians fan, and they recently changed to the Guardians. And you're not even allowed to wear any of old memorabilia into the. Yeah, it's if you show up with it, they'll confiscate it and ask you, or just say, you have to remove it before you go in.
So I assume Washington's going to do something like that. The only difference is Washington is such a dysfunctional franchise. I mean, if you look into the Washington football team franchise, the sexual assault allegations, the financial impropriety allegations, everything is so bad that if we can just get fans to show up, we don't care what they look like. The only two things you cannot do, there's only two things you cannot do. You can't wear a headdress, like a Native American headdress. And yes, I'm going to say this real quick. It's Native Americans. They're not Indians. They're Native Americans, okay? Christopher Columbus came. This is an educational point. Christopher Columbus came, and they were called Indians, and somehow that just perpetuated throughout the generations and centuries. But they were Native Americans. They are Native Americans, and you cannot wear Native American headdresses to the Washington games, nor can you face paint in a Native American way, which that part's a little subjective. I don't know what that means. I guess, some of it can be obvious, but there's eventually going to be a great point. But those are the only two things you can't do.
The next time I see my nieces and nephews playing cowboys and Indians with each other, I'm going to say, no, cowboys and Native Americans.
Or just natives. Cowboys and natives, right? If you want to keep it to one name, but it's not cowboys and Indians.
Is the word Indian, so that's an offensive word now? Is that what it is?
It's not offensive.
Wrong.
It's not offensive. For me, I think the reason why I'm so attached to saying it's Native Americans is that that's what they are. They were natives.
They were here.
They were the original Americans.
By the way, that's so messed up that not we, I didn't do it, but they just took their land. Like, that's so crazy. Like, that was theirs.
We called them Indians, but they were, first of all, they were natives. So if you think about it, taxology, words, dichotomy, natives, they were native to this land, and that we call this America. We don't even, we don't even know historically how they actually referred to their own land. I mean, we do know how they regionalized it and how maybe they may have referred to their land, but the continent as a whole, we don't know. We just know that we refer to this continent as the United States of America, and this is North America, and that's how we've called it. So if they're native to this land and we're going to call it North America or the Americas, it's Native Americans. That's what it is. They're not Indians. Indians is in the, over there in the Middle East. Okay. that's where Indians are. Okay. And it's a completely different culture. Has nothing.
I wonder how the term Indians came to be then. I wonder why that was.
So Christopher Columbus, when he set sail, I can't remember if it was from Spain. It may have been from Spain. He came up with the idea. I forget the original idea, but he was trying to find another way to get to Asia. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to find another way to get to Asia. And in order to get to Asia, he was like, you had to go through this, very interesting pathway and go through a couple different channels. And instead of getting to Asia that way, going, sort of like back road style, right? Instead of going on the back roads of West Virginia and around a bunch of mountains and whatnot, he's like, what if I just set sail to the west and just run into it? Right? I'm just going to run right into it. And it may not have been Asia. It may actually he'd been trying to go to India. And India's actually bordering Asia. So that part I may be a little bit off. Been a little while since I've gotten that part of the history. But his idea was, I'm just going to go west and I'll run right into it. Which makes sense if you've never been west ever before. If nobody
typical man, it's this way. I'm just going to start walking.
If your society, if your culture has never been west before, and you just see this body of water, and you're like, we've been doing it this way, and it's so impractical, and it takes up so much resources. Well, we've never just gone west, and if I'm correct, we should just run right into it. We should just, how would we not? We're going to run into a body of land,
Yeah.
If my calculations are correct.
What a scary journey that would be, not knowing.
And that's all he did. That's literally all he did. He literally just got on a boat and just said, let's go west. And
the balls of this dude.
And his wife was like, you're leaving again?
He's
going to be
I may not come back, Samantha.
He hits land, and that's it. He sees people, and he goes, Indians. Like, I mean,
it's a fucking Indian.
I'm totally generalizing the story. Yeah. Some of it's probably a little over-exaggerated and taken out of context in certain ways. But that's the crux of it, is that he literally decided, I'm going to go west. He hits land, and as soon as he hits land, within a couple days, if not the same day, he meets people, and he goes, I've met the Indians, and I'm just not on the same part of the country that I usually would go to. And then he eventually finds out, no, I'm not. This is a completely different landmass. And then that's how it kind of spreads of like, okay, now we need to get settlers over here. It's just completely unoccupied territory, even though it is actually occupied.
He's like, I realize the Earth is flat, but I figured I'd fall off the edge of the ocean by now. I found the Indians, though.
What a crazy journey that would be. I can't even imagine personally.
Pretty cool. So what did I watch this week, dude? A Christmas Story Christmas came out, and it's actually pretty good. I would recommend.
I've never seen the first one.
What?
Have you seen it, Josh? Have you seen the first one?
A Christmas Story.
Yeah. It's with the kid with the glasses.
Oh, yeah. No,
I know the movie. I've never seen it.
Not a fan.
Make it a point to watch that, guys. This Christmas.
I'll have to watch the first one before I can watch the sequel, but it's definitely piqued my interest. I'm curious about it.
I will say real quick. I don't mean to interrupt here. I forgot to mention one important thing.
Seems like you do, but no, go ahead.
I don't mean to do it in a negative way, in an intentional sort of like, just like I want to talk and just like shut up. It's just like one of these things, because Taylor's gonna be mad if I don't say this. Last Friday on Black Friday we have a tradition that we watched The Mummy. So we watched The Mummy.
The Mummy?
The Mummy.
With Brendan Fraser?
That's exactly
and that
right.
Crazy. Well, that's the Scorpion. The Scorpion King is a different one,
recently.
Right?
That's cool.
The Scorpion King was like a prequel, kind of thing.
Oh, okay, so that's not the same one as The Mummy.
No, just The Mummy, the 1999 movie with Brendan Fraser. Kind of like discover, that one, the remake. Actually, technically the third remake. But yeah, no, we watched that. Love it.
Nice,
very cool.
And the other thing, I would recommend every fucking body, especially you two, to watch. Teddy Hart has a new documentary on Peacock. It's called Dangerous Breed. Teddy Hart, the second generation, third generation wrestler. He's from the Hart family. Well, he's pretty much like the Tiger King, but with cats.
The Tiger King. That was a great show.
The Tiger King had cats, just tiger cats.
Yeah,
big ass cats. Yeah.
It's like cats, just like regular cats. Like one, I'd be like, oh, Mr. Bigglesworth, kind of cats.
No, but this shit's batshit crazy. The guy who runs the documentary, he just needed somebody interesting to follow. He learned of Teddy Hart. He wanted to do an independent wrestler, and somebody put him on the Teddy Hart. So he started following Teddy Hart 10 years ago. And the first 6-7 years, tons of footage, but nothing to sink your teeth in. Well, Teddy Hart is a part of a missing persons case now. So his footage ended up being pretty good use.
Okay.
He's a part of a missing persons case?
Yeah.
He's not the one missing, right?
Teddy Hart's ex-girlfriend is still missing to this day, and a lot of people think Teddy had something to do with it.
That sounds suspicious.
Oh,
well, it's definitely got me interested in the documentary.
Is there like an unsolved mystery to this?
Huh?
Unsolved mysteries,
yeah, it is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We should dive into that in a future episode, find all the facts we can, and see who done it. Who's responsible for this?
Let's do our deep dive.
We could create our own.
Yeah.
So that's my Mike, did you say what you watched?
No, not yet. No, nobody gave a fuck. So
no.
I didn't say it.
No. I care. I care, dude. I care.
My fiance and I, we got Disney Plus, so we're they obviously have Marvel and Star Wars. So they got everything, a big database of movies. So lately we've been catching up on the newest Marvel shows like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. And I gotta say, it's actually Marvel's really declined a bit since the Avengers Endgame movie. For me personally, there's been a couple hits in my opinion. I liked Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was all right. I liked it. Thor Love and Thunder was atrocious in my opinion. But anyway,
Loki.
So I've been
Loki.
I kind of liked Loki actually.
You kind of.
I liked Loki and I liked WandaVision.
Oh, I did not. I didn't like WandaVision.
I thought the shows after that though really took a dive. She-Hulk really took a dive. I mean,
yeah, it's getting saturated a little bit.
Yeah. So, but we've been
hard.
But I still want to keep up, like, with the storylines and stuff. So, because I do want to watch the new Avengers movies whenever they do come out. So we're trying to follow up, even if it's painful to get through the shows. But I wouldn't recommend actually watching She-Hulk or Miss Marvel wasn't bad. If that's a good watch, I guess, but not She-Hulk. What that made me do was actually it made me go back and watch older Marvel movies like Captain America: First Avenger, the first Avengers movie. I also watched Infinity War. Yeah, I watched Infinity War and Endgame, and I got my fix with all those movies. So that made me watch the good stuff after that.
Yeah. What was that show? Did you watch the one with Oscar Isaac in it? The Egyptian.
Oh, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. What'd you think?
That one was interesting. It didn't go the way I thought it was. It had potential.
The first half of the season, I was like, this is not very good. And then I felt like they kind of picked it up and they did bring it home. I don't think the quote unquote, if you would, as you would say in wrestling, like the go home spot for the ending of how you would end the final episode was very good. But as they were
She-Hulk was that way too, though. There was just
Really?
It was almost no ending at all. It was just I don't know if you've seen it, but it was
no.
It's almost straight trash in my opinion.
Yeah,
but.
Taylor keeps on asking, do you want to watch She-Hulk or Miss Marvel? Is that what it is? I'm like, no.
Miss Marvel's decent. I'll give it that.
I've heard it's good. Same thing with Andor. She's asked me if I want to watch Andor, and I'm like, no, I want to keep these in my back pocket for that day that it's just there's really nothing to watch, and we're just gonna do this because we have nothing else to do, and I don't want to do nothing today.
I watched the first 2 episodes of Andor, and I honestly thought it was so boring. I also was kind of passively kind of watching it while I was working, so that's not the best time to watch something.
Right.
So I kind of got bored and stopped, but then people after that started saying, "Oh, it's really good. It's really picked up and all that." So I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another shot one day.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how great She-Hulk is because the Hulk himself is the fucking most boring character of all of them.
Well, Hulk was great until he became Professor Hulk.
Yeah,
I loved Hulk before
bro. I mean, Taylor loves Mark Ruffalo, so you better back up, bro.
I'm still glad I watched She-Hulk just so I understand what's going on in the whole scheme of the universe, but.
Yeah. You want to watch those things because you already know how they do the Marvel and the Endgame movie. I mean, not the Endgame.
Because you'll appreciate certain things later.
Yeah. The Avengers movies, when they come out, they find a way to just connect so many different dots and everything. And even now, they're doing a good job with just, with all the other standalone films, finding a way to connect the dot here and there.
Yeah.
So, you got
She-Hulk is just one of those I probably wouldn't rewatch. That's all.
Yeah, watch it once and understand it, and it'll pop up later. Yeah,
watch it once, tuck it the fuck away, and never think of it again.
That's my goal. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
So yeah, and I mean, I kid you not. This week alone, while I've been working, I watched just a handful of Marvel.
Well, you need to stop watching shit while you're working.
Well, I like to watch stuff that I've already seen many times because it's very easy for me to work and have something on. I like background noise.
Yeah.
Okay. It's really hard for me to watch something new while I'm working because then I'm not really working.
Do you have a TV show on while you're trying to fall asleep, or do you like complete darkness, silence?
Complete darkness. And I'm so OCD with the darkness that if you saw the bedroom, it's crazy. I have blankets covering because we have those we have a rental, so I'm not putting a lot of money into nice curtains and stuff right now. But they have those cheap blinds or whatever, those long vertical blinds. So it lets in a lot of sunlight. So I have blankets covering all that. I even have a towel at the base of the door, so no light from the outside comes in. I'm pretty.
So you live
serious.
in a house, but I
want it pitch black.
But it looks like you live in a trailer.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. What's wrong with this?
Yeah, we got blankets on the walls. Just come in, take your shoes off.
I wouldn't know. There's some nice ass trailers. There's some people living in trailers that are living better than me. There's some nice ass trailers out there.
Hey man, I've seen some really nice double wide.
Yeah, you find yourself a double wide, you're living good.
Tiny homes are all the rage.
Nothing wrong with that. I ain't got nothing wrong with a double wide. I grew up in West Virginia.
Love a good double wide. I live in a single wide now. It's all right, So guys, we're on the about roughly last 15 minutes of the show. We are going to end the show with a word of advice from myself. But before we get to that, I do want to know what grinds your gears, what boils your goose, what shoots your scooter.
Oh man, do you really want to know?
I would love it more than anything, Josh.
All right. So I've got a couple different things here. I'm gonna probably direct these more than anything to individual people. So Mike, I gotta ask you a question because this really grinds my gears, and I'm just curious if it grinds your gears. Here's what grinds my gears. Travis DuFour's metabolism really grinds my gears. Now, I know that Travis has a really high metabolism, and sometimes he wishes he didn't have that high metabolism. But I'll tell you what, as a big man myself, it really grinds my gears when he has the metabolism of being able to eat 3 double cheeseburgers. I've seen him do it. Mike, it grinds my gears.
What's it like?
Oh, yeah, what is it like? Wait. Before you answer the question, Travis, Mike, does it grind your gears?
Fuck yeah, it grinds my gears. I hate people like that. I can't stand it. I eat a cheeseburger and I gain 2 pounds. So I know. I hate it. My metabolism blows. But yeah, my friend is also like that. My friend Adam, he'll just eat whatever, just an enormous amount of food, more food than even I could eat, and just doesn't go anywhere. I'm like, where the fuck does it go? Like, how?
It's definitely
doesn't work for me that way.
Because just like your friend Adam, it's definitely a mystery because I eat a lot. And the mystery part for me,
that's the part that pisses me off.
We just take such small shits, and it's like, where is it going?
Oh, that's the opposite of my experience. In my experience, I'm supposedly getting rid of all of it, but apparently not.
Yeah, no, my body
you eat a salad and take a 10-pound shit.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's my life.
All right. That was just one. I have several of these. How many do I just go with it and you just cut me off? And when we feel like enough?
I have one that kind of came to mind.
No. This is my segment.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Yeah, hit us with your next one.
I got quite a few here. I just want to make sure that I don't think we have enough time to hit them all, and I would love to save some of these. So the next part is, you know what really grinds my gears, Travis DuFour? Everything at the Dollar Tree is not $1 anymore. That grinds my gears.
Fuck, that's so stupid. I hate it. It's a Dollar Tree and I'm like $1.25, $1.50 or whatever it is.
Yeah. I can't go in there and I can't get that nasty QB cat food steak anymore for $1. I have to go in there and pay $1.75, and I have to pay $1.75 for food poisoning now, rather than the $1.06 that I used to.
Damn. So being a lawyer, you're still kind of looking through the change jar and shit before you go out to Dollar Tree?
No, I just want the candy.
And for me, I love Dollar Tree. Like, that's like a store where I can go there, spend $20 and feel like I've spent 100. Like, I mean, as far as how much I'm getting. Cool.
So honestly,
it's a fun experience.
Tell you the truth, it was more of a hot take. I mean, I don't go there a lot, but I mean, it's good to go there to get like some small things like aluminum foil, because we don't use a lot of it, so it's very rarely used in the house. So Dollar Tree, dish detergent, right? Like, they have little kind of things. We don't use a lot of that. So, but walking in there, I noticed that not everything's $1 anymore. Your Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I always buy my razors there to shave with, and they're so cheap, because they're from Dollar Store, and I cut my face every time. But like, I like the rush that I get from cutting myself, so I just do it.
All right,
Jesus.
All right. Here's my third take of what grinds my gears. I'm gonna go to 5. Can I have 5?
Yeah.
Am I allowed 5? I'm allowed 5 because this third one's gonna be pretty quick. You guys won't know what to do with it, and that's totally okay. I'll take all of 3 seconds.
I like the challenge.
The third thing that grinds my gears, ladies and gentlemen, the third thing that grinds my gears here on the Travis DuFour Show here today, Tate Griffin grinds my gears.
Fuck him.
Yeah, really grinds my gears. Just really grinds my gears. I hope that we kind of cut this off and we can put his face on a clipping and just Tate, you grind my gears.
Well, we can delete his podcast episode for you.
No. Leave it.
It's like he's just so nice and will help you. And it's like, why? What are you hiding?
Yeah, exactly. What are you hiding? Your Sky High Pizza. I know what you're hiding. All right. That's just a drug front.
Oh, you got your pizza shop, you got your comic book store. Is there fucking anything? Like, there's something going on with him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, all right, I got one for you. I got one here. All right, here's my fourth. What grinds your gears for the day, Travis and Mike? People who don't return shopping carts in the parking lot of a grocery store.
Those people need to die on the spot. Oh, those people. Do you want to know? I take personal offense with this because I used to be a cart pusher at Walmart.
Me too.
That was my job. Oh, really? That was my first job.
That was my first job.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I every time I see that, I will actually go out of my way to grab carts in the vicinity and put them into the corral. Now, even today, I'll do that.
What a sweetheart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when someone doesn't do it, I'll be like, look at this fucking joker just leaving his fucking cart. What a fucking piece of shit.
Dude, I intentionally park next to the either I'm parking next as close to the front door as I can so I can just push the cart back inside, or I park as close to the cart return rack area that they have in a parking spot just so I can return the cart in a nice, humane fashion instead of like, oh, I'm just going to leave this parked next to a tree. Or I'm gonna
just leave it wherever,
or the parking spot. Oh, it totally grinds my gears. Dude.
Behind cars, even they'll just leave it behind another car.
Oh, it's only the ones with daddy issues you do that. I'm gonna leave my cart right here where my dad left me.
Dude, I think about that. That's so funny you brought that up. I think about that probably multiple times a week.
Yeah.
Your dad leaving?
No.
Shit. Sorry.
Yeah, that's that too. But
good.
No, the carts mostly. People leaving their stupid ass carts.
All right. My last grind your gear take of the week. And this one, a lot of people are going to get offended by this. This is a shoot.
Oh, great. Yeah, let's offend them, Josh. Welcome to the show.
This is a shoot. This is a shoot. Mike, are you ready for this one?
Do you need to be soloed right now?
Oh yes. This is perfect. I like this. I would love if you made this just a simple 15-second clip as well. Ladies and gentlemen who are joining the Travis DuFour Show either live or watching this simple clip right now, I have something that's going to really grind my gears. I see it all the time. I've seen it in my experience, and I've never understood it. A lot of people may not understand it, but there's a lot of people that will. You have to really be involved in this industry to understand this and see it. But
he's talking about porn.
Yeah, that's it. Porn you industry. Have to really just consume the industry. But here is what grinds my gears. The last one of the night before Travis and the rest of us send you home for the night. Here's what grinds the Mavericks gears. Professional wrestlers wearing casual clothes in the ring when they are giving a promo and it's not a part of their gimmick. Like, you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt and a pair of Skechers in the ring right now while you're giving a promo. No, you're not supposed to be some skater boy. No, you're not supposed to be some sort of like catchy, edgy kind of person. No, you're wearing the same clothes you showed up to the venue at noon, 7 hours before the show started. You decided, I'm going to go cut a promo in this today. Instead, we've forgotten that you are supposed to be and you want to hold yourself out as a professional wrestler. It really grinds my gears when you go out and you cut a promo like that, because how do I take you seriously? How is anybody going to take you seriously if you don't first take yourself seriously? You have two options. You either wear something that looks like you're a professional. I don't care if it's just a pair of khakis and a nice polo. You just look like you showed up and you were a professional that day. It doesn't have to be a suit. It doesn't have to be that. But it just doesn't. Or be a professional and wear your ring gear and cut your promo. But it really grinds my gears when I see people showing up to the venue at noon and they go cut a promo and the same thing they showed up at noon in, because that tells me you're lazy and you don't take yourself serious enough.
Talking about you, Eddie Kingston, you piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. Talking about him. I'm talking about a lot of people. And you know what? If someone hears that, a lot of my good friends are going to hear that. And some of them, I've even told them that they don't need to do that. And they get mad at me when I tell them that. But it really grinds my gears. And I know we're not trying to be professional wrestling oriented, but I definitely wanted to hit something at a high note, really strong and hard there.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not in the business, so I don't have your perspective at least. But as a fan, I've known that over the years, I've always really been drawn to people that take themselves more seriously and wear suits in the ring, like Triple H, wearing suits. Chris Jericho, when he had that heel run, wearing those suits.
CM
MJF
Punk and
today. Did CM Punk wear suits?
CM Punk in Ring of Honor, whenever he signed his WWE contract in the Ring of Honor ring, he was wearing a suit and everything. And it's like, God, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah. I love it when guys take themselves and gals, they take themselves seriously.
Take yourself seriously. Like I really think that if you're a professional wrestler, and in this day and age of the industry, everybody is trying to fight and clamor and claw back the professional wrestling moniker. Okay, well then stop wearing the same fucking jeans you show up to the arena in and actually bring something. I mean, even when CM Punk was on WWE TV, when he was in the ring, when he was cutting his pipe bomb promos, he was either quasi in his gear or he was either in like his own merch, but it was part of his gimmick. And that's why I put the exception in there that said, and it's not part of their gimmick.
Like John Cena, he wears jorts everywhere.
If it's part of your gimmick, I have no problem with it. It's part of your gimmick. It's what you do. But I have seen so many people, like John Moxley is a good example as well. John Mox, he is totally doing something very similar. He's always done it that way. Like he's never like in suits and stuff like that.
It would almost be weird if he did wear a suit.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, dress the part. You're a professional, okay? Right? Look at the NFL. Look at the NBA. Look at how these athletes are treating themselves. They treat themselves that way. If you ain't got the money to pay for it, I'm glad I'm on this note. Reach out to me and I'll help you pay for it. I fucking swear I will. All right. That doesn't mean I'm going to hand you a check for it, but I will certainly help you pay for it. Meaning I'll either navigate you to help you get there, or I'll give you $5 in your GoFundMe account. I don't know, but I certainly know you can wear something better if you're going to cut a promo in the ring. Because if you're in the professional wrestling business and you really are taking it seriously and you really want to make this your career, then fucking act like that when you have every opportunity, not just from your match, but from the moment you show up to the ring and you're cutting a promo or you're showing up and seeing the fans. Do it all. Do it all.
Solid advice from the Maverick.
Yeah, sorry, you can hear how much it's grinding my gears.
No, good shit.
Yeah,
I agree with all of it.
Okay, all right. Let me. I gotta. That was too much. That was too much. That was too hard. That was. I gotta do something a little bit softer. Give me 1 minute. Give me 30 seconds. Actually, 30 seconds. Here's the last.
Stop putting peppermint mocha in your coffee. It's trash.
No.
All right, good one, Maverick. No. Good one.
I got plenty of things here. I'm actually looking at the entire list. The last thing. This is an easy one that we can all kind of close off here on this segment. The last thing that grinds the Mavericks gears: automated customer service phone lines. Really grind my gears.
Hey. Monster.
Press 1. Did you press 1? I don't think you pressed 1.
Sorry, I snorted there. Yeah, that really grinds my gears.
I hate that too. Yeah, very annoying.
Yeah.
So that is another weekly segment that we will be bringing you, courtesy of the Maverick, Joshua Strawn. What grinds your gears? And now to close the show, we have made it to the 2-hour mark. I do want to leave you guys with a bit of advice. Sometimes it'll be funny. Sometimes it'll be serious. It's just something I want to fucking put out in the universe. And this is it. We've all heard it. The phone works both ways. We all have heard that. Okay. But be the one that makes the call. Be the one.
Yeah, Mom. No, I'm just kidding.
Mom, you will be happy that you called Mike at the end of the day, because life is never guaranteed. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. So make the call.
That's for damn sure.
Feel that. I agree with that.
So, and guys, that is another
advice.
episode of the Travis DuFour Show, episode 9 of season 2. We will be back here next week, Thursday, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tune in a couple minutes earlier, for the pre-show, and stick around for the after show. But for the podcast version of the Travis DuFour Show, that is it, and we will see you next week.
Dude, I love that music.
Me too.
I love that. Travis.
I actually think the intro is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
We made it pretty quick. Or Travis actually made it. It just was with the logo that I made. That's all.
That's good. Dude, I got to take a super big fucking piss right now. Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we in like this? Oh, we're still live. Yeah. So
we're in the after show. So we're just going to solo on you the whole time while you're pissing?
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
We'll keep talking.
Yeah, keep talking away, man.
Yeah, solo it on Josh, and we will keep talking. Man, dude, that was a great episode.
Yeah, I was fun. I went into it thinking this is going to be like an hour episode. That's what I went into it thinking. And wow, was
okay.
I wrong.
So after the first 30 minutes, when we fucking killed it, the first 30 minutes. I was like, dude, we're golden. And anytime I looked down at the time, I was like, we are so fucking golden.
Yeah. We took we actually had a decent amount planned. It's not like we didn't, but we really, we did well with it. Yeah. And not only that, I think that the back and forth like banter, like it was good. Like I enjoyed it, and it didn't feel like anything was weird or awkward at any point.
I think that we have the recipe for success now. I think that the show was great with me and you, but it's even better with Josh.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is nice having a third perspective, because also he brings a lot of knowledge that either I don't have, you don't have, or we both don't have. And so he's able to fill in gaps here and there with just all this different stuff. So it's really cool. Also, I thought it was nice just doing something different and having clips here and there. I thought that was nice to break it up and just have something visually interesting to look at. I'll definitely need to look at some better clips for next week, but I was happy with a couple of them. I liked the reality TV one.
Yeah, that was my favorite one of that segment. Yeah,
and I wasn't sure how you'd handle, but we do have the, we didn't actually show it today, but we usually have the warning graphic or whatever. So I didn't know how you'd feel about that Nazi guy or whatever clip. But I mean, it's what's just happened. It happened at an airport, so it made the news.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not fair game to talk about.
I couldn't be more happy. Wow.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. That's another thing.
Yeah.
It was a fun show to do.
Yeah, this being a passion project, a box that needs checked is the fun box, and we checked that tonight.
I enjoyed honestly, I enjoyed all of our segments. I enjoyed discussing all of them. What grinds your gears was fun. I like the word of advice at the end. I think that's a great segment to have. What did you watch? I think we're always watching something, all of us. So that's a great thing to talk about.
Keeps us current.
Viral clips could have been a little better, but that's a good. We'll get better with that one. Legal advice. I thought that was good. Thanksgiving also. Cool. Yeah.
I thought the intro went very well.
Yeah, it went. I'm glad we did a couple practice runs at first, because if I had just been like, "No, fucking, we're gonna do it live," I got this. I would have fudged up a few things, but by that point, I was able to seamlessly switch between what I was supposed to.
Yes, good call on that.
So, And it was a little corny, like especially the Darth Vader was a little corny, but I don't know.
I'm okay with corny.
I like corny too, so I don't give a shit.
Oh man,
I like the Chuck Weasley thing. I actually forgot how much I enjoyed doing the Chuck Weasley.
That was always good for a laugh.
The one I thought about doing, but I just thought it would have been too much, especially in 2022. But was Jorge Chavez?
Yes. Oh, that'll never happen on this show.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
Let me ask
We're
you
actually
this,
gonna.
honey. Yeah.
I'm the co-host now. I am here to stay, baby. And then we play that prank call, that prank that I did.
We'll probably have
again. Now we're
gonna
go
Pride Month.
Pride Month. Yeah. Jeez, that would be so. Because the character is kind of an offensive character. He's a mock. I don't know. He's not really mocking it. He's just a flamboyant character.
Yeah. Just a character, guys.
Yeah. So
it's
no offense meant. No offense intended.
It's like a lot of these YouTubers and stuff. Like some of these YouTubers like blow up, and then they'll pull old clips of them, and like they'll be doing blackface or something like that. Entirely not acceptable. And then they get canceled because of something they did 10 years ago. I saw that happen to, I think, Shane Dawson.
I still think I understand it to an extent because it absolutely, I agree with you. 100% wrong, not acceptable. But digging in, I mean, if you could dig into anyone's life, and Josh is back, you can dig into anyone's life and find something bad someone did or said that they regret and, roast them for it. And I don't think that they should be held accountable for something they did 10 plus years ago. I just really don't believe in that. I mean,
I agree.
Maybe they say an apology or something simple, but you shouldn't be canceling people over it. Like mistakes happen, unfortunately, and people grow and learn from it.
What are you guys talking about?
You actually. No, I'm just kidding. No,
there was multiple parts of the show that I was like, oh, I think we're gonna get canceled because of what Josh said. No, just kidding. No,
I'm sorry, guys. Worst debut ever.
No,
wherever your camera is. Oh yeah, you go ahead real quick. I'll bring it.
Well, we were just oh man, we're so ecstatic about how the show went. It was such a good flow. I think that we've hit the oil with this.
Yeah, no, I
how'd you
agree.
feel about it?
No, I think it went really, really well. What I liked a lot about it is there was a lot of organic things, right? So when we talked yesterday about, when we were in our quote unquote production meeting and just like talking about the show and the segments and stuff like that, I know we were walking out of the show like, do we have enough content here?
Yeah. I was telling Travis while you're gone, I thought this would be like an hour show, hour to an hour and 15.
And it had that flow of like, all right, well, all the content had something we could pull off of and talk about and be organic about, and so that's really important, is to have segments that, that draw on, right? If you're just practicing, if you're just booking it to be like 15 minutes here and 15 minutes there, and we cut it off and move on to the next segment, well, it's not organic. That's the first problem. The second problem is it looks super scripted, and how do you get a base from that? Because the best things are going to happen when it's organic. So have a really good content lined up that people are going to be intrigued by. And then the thing that keep people coming back is, oh my God, you like the content's good just from what they plan, but when they start going off script and they just sort of like organically talk about their content, that's what keeps people engaged. And then that's what creates the word of mouth, right? They're like, oh, you have no idea. They have some really good segments, but then they just like talk. And then they have like a really good conversation about what they're talking about. They just go off on this like tangent for like,
Mike,
we did really go ahead.
Well, I wanted to do a live react while Josh is still here and we have a minute. Yeah. Mike, I just sent you a link to a YouTube video in the chat for the show. Are you able to play that while we react to it? Because
did you send it on Facebook?
Yeah, sent it on Facebook. The Elite Pro
it-
Wrestling Alliance was advertising a big announcement, and they apparently announced it, but I don't know what it is. It's live on YouTube,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
sent you the
saw
clip.
it.
I think it'd
in
be
the
amazing.
future,
Let's watch
the
it now.
private in the future, the private chat would be way faster for me to click a link. But I am going into Facebook now.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. I'm still.
Yeah, I know they were going to announce something at 8 o'clock. I was intrigued by it.
Yeah, so let's fucking see it live. Let's get our reaction.
All righty.
Guys, remember, go on Facebook and look up Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance. If you are in the tri-state area, this is a promotion that runs monthly. And they had an announcement today, and we are going to. Josh was a consistent member of the roster for a long time. I've wrestled for maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8 times. But so this is a company that we both have worked for, and we friends of the show. Tate Griffin is the promoter.
I got trained by them. I got certified by them.
So let's see what this announcement is.
It's pretty cool animation.
Nearly 14 years ago, we started the Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance on the thought that if we could open a training center and teach guys the way we felt wrestling should be taught, the way we learned, that we could build the area with talent. And that branched right into the Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance as part of the curriculum, and it took on a life of its own. It turned into being well over 100 shows, huge crowds, a great fan base. And when opportunities presented themselves, we tried to pounce on those opportunities. We tried to build the opportunity for people and create a forum for everybody that wanted to be a professional wrestler and wanted to do it the right way. And now, as opportunities have presented themselves once again, here we are, taking the next step in the evolution of the Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance.
Without further ado, we'd like to make a very big announcement. Instead of talking about it, we're just going to go ahead and show you.
Okay. Arena.
Production studio.
Wow. Oh, and Kaiser. We really won't believe what happens next.
Sneak preview, nice.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Thursdays.
Cool, I like that.
God damn it, they're our competitor. Oh, but they're not live streaming it, so we're good. Okay. Wow. Fucking cool. That's exciting.
Yeah, totally happy for them. I mean, like, you know, I mean, they like I said, I will always say I got trained by them. I know where I broke in the business with CPW and had a couple of training sessions with Shane Shadows and whatnot. But I have a certificate from Jake and George and Brian. I was trained elite. You know, I have a certificate that says that. So I'm really happy for them. I know their story. I know how many times they have battled through to sort of like have this training center. And I know a lot of setbacks along the way. There was one time where their training center was burnt down. I know about that. And there's a lot of history there, a lot of just circumstance that I'm not going to get into because it's not for me to talk about. But I'm really proud that they're having this opportunity because for me, what that company did for me, I mean, you know, you guys let me kind of come in and crash the show with George, with Tate, and so I'm really happy. I hope. Here's what I hope out of that is that there's someone like me that finds Jake and George, because I don't think Jake and George and Brian too. I mean, the three of them, because they all have very unique personalities and they're all really meshed well together, and they also get along very well together at the same time. I hope there's someone like me that they can instill some sort of discipline, instill some sort of team camaraderie, and also give them a feeling of belonging. Because like that was the first time I ever felt like I got into a locker room. So I'm really excited about what they do. I'm going to follow it. I'm going to listen to it. What they do, it means a lot to me that they're doing that, because I know that means a lot to them. They've been trying to do it for a long time. People have tried to set them back.
I'm thinking I'm going to go down there with a camera and maybe film some stuff, put something together once they get it all going for the show.
Hey, I dig it, man. I dig it.
That'd be fun.
That would actually be a really fun podcast. Like, do a nice little segment where you like interview them about.
Maybe we could have Davis on, Jake Davis. Yeah.
Oh man, Jake. Oh my God, Jake's the man. Jake is the man. You know what's funny? I don't know if I still hold this title, because I don't know how active he is in training anymore. But in 2019, he took some time off. He took some time off for a hot minute, and I was so pissed off about that, because he's always wrestled all of his trainees at least once, but he even wrestled you, Travis.
Yeah.
And I remember that match. That was a great match. I watched it from beginning to end. And Jason and both of you gave each other the business. I mean, you both gave each other the business. I know that for a fact. I watched that
rough
match.
night.
There was some physicality to that match that I really liked. I really like watching matches like that. There was some physicality to it that I really liked. It's kind of like football, right? Where the modern game of football today is like, I'm going to give you the business. I'm going to be physical with you. I'm going to respect you, but I'm still going to give you the business. Like, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you hard. And like, but we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. And that's like the modern game of football. So anyways, so you had a match, and my former tag team partner had a match, and everybody else had a
Oh, wow.
If we give him a link, he could.
Yeah. Give him a link.
Let me shoot him a link. Yeah, we'll get you on tape. We actually just did a live react to your announcement. We're all very excited here at the Travis DuFour Show.
Let's do it. I dig it.
It was a pretty sweet announcement, I gotta say. I really liked
it. It was good.
Production value of the video.
Man. It was good. It was good. Well, we'll tape put that all together. I guarantee it.
Fuck. I gotta open up Facebook on my fucking computer. Let me get it over to him.
Trying to see if my.
Hold on there, Tate Griffin. We're gonna get you on. I'm sending you the link.
Well, while he's doing that, Josh, do you think CM Punk's? We were talking about that before the show starts. Since you weren't on with us because we hadn't introduced you yet, do you think CM Punk is going to come back to AEW? Is this all work?
Man, well, okay. So technically, I wasn't on, but Travis thinks that it's a work. Man, dude, they have already laid the script for it with MGF.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Like with MGF, like. So I'm wondering. So like, if you think back to WCW when they brought in Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, what was it that they really truly think about it? What was it that what made that so good? It was not just quote unquote they were from WWE and no one knew that they were doing a taboo thing. They were doing something that felt taboo and people were drawn into it. It wasn't, oh, you're just from WWE and are you a free agent and this, that, and the third, because that's been a fun thing to do, is like, oh, I'm a free agent. I can sign with whatever company I want. And the dirt sheets are saying I'm a free agent and I can sign with whoever. No. is Tony Khan actually playing off of like actually thinking about what really at the molecular core of what made what Kevin Nash and Scott Hall do in WCW? Is he really thinking about what it really was? Because if he's really thinking about what it was taboo. It was taboo. It was taboo. It was like, no. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. Okay, well, okay. So what can you not allowed to do today? What would be taboo today? Breaking kayfabe in such a way where the storyline is in the locker room.
Tate's here.
Yep.
Oh, is he?
All right, let's bring him in.
Dude, why are you on my show, bro?
It's so funny. That was literally the only fucking reason I called, was because I was like, oh, wait, Maverick's talking. Maybe I'll call up and fuck up his episode too. And you know, the real bitch of it is that Travis is the one that has to endure both times. So for you, sir, I'm sorry.
Well, apparently you missed my what grinds my gears today because you made the list.
It was brutally on purpose. I go out of my way to miss whatever you have going on. Is that a microphone or a dick in your face? What is that?
You're just jealous because I have something better in my face than what you have right now.
It looks like that Doc Brown robot, only it's like a jerk-off gimmick or something. What's going on? Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, what's
you
up,
just
guys?
look like you just got done laying down on the couch and you just ate 3 slices of pizza and you're about to take a nap. So
see, that's way more mean than it was clever, McFuckface. Travis, I wanted to thank you for sharing the link to that, buddy. I appreciate that very much, Mike.
Yeah, we enjoyed watching that. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. A studio, a training center. Give us the scoop, man. What's going on?
Yeah, Jake and I signed a deal. We're gonna have literally that. We got I can't get up off of too much of it yet, but we have it's a professional stage. We're gonna have a screen, gonna have professional lighting. It's gonna be set up arena style. It's gonna serve as a training center, full production, so we can do like produce all kinds of like content and things. It's going to be pretty special, and as the video said there, we're going to be having shows every single week. It's going to be a Thursday Throwdown, and so Thursday Throwdown or Throwdown Thursday. I think it's Throwdown Thursday, but every
video
Thursday,
said Throwdown.
Yep, every Thursday night will be live events in Kaiser, West Virginia. Kind of like our Monday Night Raws to our pay-per-view shows when we do the bigger rooms. But yeah, we're really stoked about it. The training center is going to be opening up in February, and then the shows will start kicking off weekly in March.
So it's a chance for like the new guys get their first matches, their first programs and stuff like that. But it's also going to be a platform for you to tell the stories that lead to the bigger shows, is what you're saying? Well,
there'll be 2 separate types of shows. Throwdown Thursday is going to be like the Elite Pro stars as well as other indie wrestlers that are just traveling through. It's an opportunity on Thursdays, that really opens up every wrestler's schedule, at least every wrestler that I know, that if you want to come in and you want to work in a professional environment, every show's filmed in high def from 3 angles, and then produced. So that's every Thursday. It'll be about a 5-match card every Thursday, and then once a month we'll have what's called the Elite Pro Ground Floor, which will be a monthly show that's specific to highlighting the new students that are signing up. So between now and February, we're basically putting out the word. We're starting this training. You'll have the opportunity to be in the ring with some of the top guys that we have. Jake Machine Davis will be the trainer there, as well as some other guys, but he'll be on the scene every week. So in addition to coming in and being able to train multiple nights a week, then the Thursday night Throwdown and then the monthly student shows, there's more than enough time to be in front of people. That's how we learned, on shows every week in front of live crowds. And this will be every week in front of paying crowds. Yeah. So yeah, we're really, really stoked about it.
Hey, Travis, you mind if I kind of take a few minutes here to ask a couple questions?
I fucking do.
Oh, Josh,
I mind. Does that count for anything, Travis? I mind.
Well, first I was going to ask him if I could just take the mic for a minute and then say.
It looks like you took everybody's mic and turned it into a fucking super mic. You're more mic than man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I got to ask you a question here, okay? So one of the things that was really valuable about what Elite had when I was there as a young individual in my late teens, early 20s was, we had all those conversations, and I'm not going to relive them and everything because we've already had that conversation. But because you're doing a weekly thing, there are a lot of transition homes there where there are kids who never got adopted. And I know specifically where they're at in Kaiser and in Burlington, where the individuals are like from like 18 to like 25, and they were never adopted, and they're looking for a place in the world. And would you ever, if I could have an opportunity to sort of like connect you with them, and they just come and like just say, hey, you know what, you want to be part of a group and just whatever, could I do something like that to connect you guys together to, provide a community outreach for people like that?
I mean, I'm not opposed to talking to anybody, but as far as community outreach, my community outreach has everything to do with providing like live pro wrestling action and pro wrestling training for people that actually want to do it. I mean, if there's someone in that group that's interested in learning how to wrestle or wanting to be a part of that, that's fine. But I'm not really in the business of just. It sounds like what you're looking for is not what I have. I don't have that ability.
No. That's fair. That's fair because like when you met me, like that was my mentality, right? I wanted to be part of the business. I wanted to work like that. So like there was.
But you came to me, and you came to us. Like if someone's interested in being a wrestler and wants to come out and do it and be a part of it, I have this philosophy in my life that I've lived by for about the last 10 years, and that is that I can't care more than you do. So I'll care just as much, but any amount of effort I put in above what you're willing to put in is a huge waste of my time, and it's nobody's fault but my own. Whether it's someone that's in need or someone that is extremely well off, that part of it doesn't particularly figure in here. If you want to do this, we have a place to do it. If you don't, that's cool too.
No. That's that. Honestly, I'm looking at more of like the team atmosphere because like. For me, Tate, like, I did seek you guys out, and I wanted to be part of that, and I worked hard to do that, and I was in the locker room and everything. But I'm thinking about just like team, right? Like, hey, can I just come and hang out for the shows and have something to do? Can I help you out, right? And that might mean like, hey, they may not set up the ring, but it might just be like, hey, I'll come and like spend the day with you guys to help set up the tables and the chairs and stuff like that.
Let me think. Nope.
Nope. Okay, don't say you're saying nope as if it's like free labor.
I guess the answer I'm trying to say is no. Like at the end of the day, if you want to be a part of it, then you're a part of it 100%. I'm not interested in anybody showing up just to hang out and be part of the atmosphere. You, like everybody else, I mean, were you ever there and not expected to set shit up and tear shit down and be a part? You're either in or you're not. There's plenty of places to go if you're half-assed. Go somewhere else and do that shit. If you want to sit on your ass or goof off or just tell your buddies that you're part of wrestling when you're really not, fuck all that. Either you want to do it or you don't. And I'm only interested in people that want to do it. Okay. I've said this for years. This needs to be, and especially now, this needs to be maybe not your number one priority in your whole life, but it better crack the fucking top 3 because after your family and your job, if this isn't number 3, then that's cool. But don't come talk to me because go find somebody else that's willing to let you roll in once every 6 weeks and pretend like you're a wrestler. That's cool, and that's cool. I don't care. I have friends that pretend to be wrestlers. Like
there goes my dreams.
It's nothing personal.
Wait. Masters, for example. Hey, you're getting really passionate here, and I think I maybe it might.
Wait. I gotta cut you off here just 1 second because I feel like I called in. I didn't mean to like take over the show, and I don't want to be rude. It's Travis's and Mike's show. I don't want to hog the conversation.
I have a couple questions. I just have like one major question to ask you before you leave.
Yeah.
So is this wrestling? So is the wrestling ring going to be set up day in, day out every day? Or are you going to have other functions for the venue? Are you going to run comedy out of it possibly? Or is this strictly wrestling? That's all that happens in here.
At this stage of the game, all I can really say is that this is the Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance arena and training center. Now there's a full stage. Could something else happen? Sure. I mean, with the ring in there, could we perform in the round? Maybe. We're not quite that far down the road yet. But right now, the primary focus on this is to run these shows, run them weekly, film them, produce episodes, and then air them. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I mean, I'm being a bit facetious here, Josh, talking to you about this, but like the reality of it is, it's a serious commitment, and it's 14 years in the making. And so I'm looking for people that want to care as much as Jake and I do. And if that's not who you are, that's cool. It's just, then come watch it. There's really no room for part-time effort.
I think Tate, you assume that I was suggesting that some of these kids want to be wrestlers as much as they just want to be part of a team.
Yeah, and that's cool. I wish they could be part of a team, but I'm looking for people that want to be wrestlers, I guess is what it is, if that makes sense.
No,
but hey, thanks for putting me on the spot and making me have to explain myself, dickhead. I do appreciate that shit.
No.
The only person I feel worse for than me having to talk to you is looking up and seeing that these guys have been live with you for 2.5 fucking hours. Holy jumping shitballs.
Well, apparently, if you would have started the show with us at the beginning of the hour, you may have actually learned a thing or two. But that apparently you only want to show up to the very end where you've already decided to eat what you want and do what you want and just sit there and do whatever you want and be lazy, and then show up at the very end to give whatever two cents you have. Lay off whatever one-liners you have to come off as if like you have this great comedic atmosphere, but really you're just kind of riding the coattails of the real true knowledge train that's been riding all night.
Okay. Hey Travis, what a great creative decision you made, including him on your show. It's like a fucking sinkhole here.
We have a lot of copyright claims, so I felt like I needed a lawyer to help me fight them.
Yeah, he's really just here for the free legal advice, but
that must be it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, and hey, maybe you could put together a team and then teach them all how to do your legal stuff. That'd be fun. Get them all to fill out papers, scam people, shit like that. I don't know where this is going. It's kind of going off the trails here, but
papers, scam people.
I appreciate you guys letting me call in. Not really sure where it went off the rails there. Got called out.
This is just the after show anyway.
Fucking guy I thought would, but he did. So, Travis, thank you. Mike, thank you. McMasters, enjoy that microphone. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for telling us about your new school. We're very excited to hear more about it.
Thanks for the opportunity. See you guys.
See you, man. Now.
Man,
Tate Griffin, everybody. Fuck him.
I'll tell you, he's funny. He's a funny dude, though.
He is really
funny. Oh, for sure.
He is always funny. He's
part of the What Grinds Your Gears today. All right. But guys, that's all I have. I'm going to try to put my daughter to bed, and God, what a great way to fucking shut down the show. We did a live react, and then we got some information out of Tate. That was cool.
Yeah, it was fun to watch that as it came out. It just came out, you said, right?
Yeah, an hour ago. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, it was a lot of fun overall. I enjoyed doing the show with you guys.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Well, welcome to the team, Josh.
I noticed during the show at some point, by the way, that it's kind of like a bar graph. I'm tall, and then it goes down a little lower for Travis, and then down even lower for Joshua.
Is it because of like my just sort of seating?
Wherever the camera's positioned, I guess. Is it on? How's your camera? Are you able to push it down
actually,
more?
So earlier in the show, I was kind of back here, kind of thing, and had the mic a little bit more over here.
However the mic is it possible to tilt it down more or no? Yeah. Just so there's less ceiling in the shot? No. I'm sorry. Did I say mic? I meant camera. If I said mic, I meant camera.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I could literally do this.
Oh, yeah. That would be, I think that's the money shot for next week.
Yeah. Probably need to be a little bit more.
See you guys next week, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe not the light in the background. But
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Yeah, see you guys next week. Oh, so next Wednesday.